Heathrow traffic, Virgin 130 Charlie is fully established on the ILS 27 right. Heathrow traffic, Virgin 130 Charlie is fully established on the ILS 27 right. Heathrow traffic, Virgin 130 Charlie is now final on the 27 right. Heathrow traffic, Virgin 130 Charlie is now final on the 27 right.
Heathrow traffic, Speedbird 71 Foxtrot Juliet is now establishing ILS 27 left Heathrow. Heathrow traffic, Speedbird 71 Foxtrot Juliet is now establishing ILS 27 left Heathrow.
Catering vehicles are on their way. Catering vehicles are on their way.
Heathrow traffic, Turkish 5 Kilo Bravo at descent, T41 starting pushback facing northbound Lima.
Right, good morning guys, hello, welcome to another freezing cold Heathrow, and Oslo's not much too different actually, it's going to be pretty cold there as well. So yeah, it's not looking particularly good today, but could be an interesting stream. So pretty low vis, sort of winter ops, low vis stuff, maybe an Autoland, probably de-icing with these sort of conditions as well. Again, always bloody de-icing. Trucks going through a building. Yeah, well done. That's put up your premiums, mate. So you're getting on. I think we'll start loading soon as well. Let's have a quick look at the flight plan. Let's just go through some stuff. I'll just have a look myself, but just pick out some relevant points. So pretty straightforward. Heathrow, Oslo, nothing too much to worry about there. Pretty low passenger loads, only about sort of 90 odd passengers. So yeah, that's not too bad. So not many people going up to Oslo this time of year. Never mind. Taking off alternate. We've got a takeoff alternate here of Manchester. The reason we've got that is because it's technically sort of LVPs, I suppose, for Heathrow. So really, even though we're below max landing weights, quite easily, we're easily below max landing weights. So we could do a single engine Autoland in that case. And the weather, I think, is, let's just have a quick look at it. Technically, we could single engine Autoland back in Heathrow if we really need to. Where is, I think it is anyway. What we got, 2,000 metres, 1,400 metres, overcast at 200. So, yeah, even though the Viz is still well above sort of Cat 3 single, which is what you'd be, Cat 3 with a decision height technically, it's sort of LVPs with low cloud base. So we could actually come back, but just for the sake of giving ourselves options, just in case it all goes peaked on, we've got Manchester as a takeoff alternate, which has got good Viz. Bit of broken cloud as well, so that's technically all Cat 1. So yeah, Manchester's sort of our sort of second choice if something goes wrong after departure, and we can't really get in for Heathrow. So that's the takeoff alternate. A little bit of sort of bumpy conditions, but not too bad. Hey Christian, yeah, my BA voice, yeah, my Nigel voice. Fuel's pretty good. This is I've added this aircraft. Is that not open? Yeah, have I got to open them? Okay. How do I do the doors? Where's the doors? That one. Door aft. I've got one open. How do I open the back one? Or the front one? Cargo door. It's not that one, is it? Confused. Is that the... No, that's the cargo door, isn't it? Or is it? Yeah, that's... Oh, they're just going through the aircraft, that's fine, whatever. Press fuel as well, come on. So, where was I? So, yeah, this is the fly-by-wire profile. So it'll be interesting to see how the fuel burn actually compares with SimBrief. Back one enough. Can't open the front door. Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Cheers, Christian. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what these fuel figures are like for this, because it's a fly-by-wire profile in SimBrief. I've just left the performance factor at 0, so I've got no idea how well this is going to be. So we might end up with barely any fuel in Oslo, but we'll see how it goes. Give it a go for the first time. I'm not going to be taking minimum fuel anyway. We can look at the weathers, so we can see this sort of ceiling 200 feet, visibility 1400. Manchester's a bit better. Oslo's not good at all, so 100 feet cloud base, 300 metres in fog. So yeah, that's very likely going to be LVPs down there, and then at alternates, they're all pretty bad, to be honest. None of them's really that suitable. Stockholm's not too bad, maybe 400 feet, good Viz. Bergamo's, is that Bergen? That's Bergen, is it? So that's not too bad. So an extra 800 really is going to cover Stockholm. We're going to take a lot more than that anyways, so I'm not going to worry too much about the fuel today. It's not a day to take minimum fuel. There's the weather for Oslo, overcast at 200, so yeah, very much LVPs up there. Manchester we've seen. Torp is just down the road. It's forecast to maybe be a bit late, a bit later, but that's well after our arrival. So yeah, 800 metres in fog. Gothenburg, that's not too much better. Maybe a little bit better by the time we get there, but again, still pretty crap. Waiting for you to close. Are they done? No, they're done. Okay. God, they're so bloody quick. Why can't you just do it yourself? Oh, they've closed anyway. Whatever. We can do boarding as well. So yeah, I've got this GSX integrated. Low ceilings, yeah, very low ceilings. It's awesome. That 1 degree is actually a mix of raindrops and snowflakes. It is, yeah. It's very sort of atmospheric, I suppose. Very sort of realistic. And it's coming in. It's stopped and then it goes back and then it comes again. So yeah, it's all very good. So what's the time? Yeah, we've got about 35 minutes. Need to get a crack on with this. So yeah, weather's pretty bad. NOTAMs. There's not really too many relevant NOTAMs to affect us. Cranes, useful stuff in Heathrow. Oslo's generally pretty good. RMP stuff, minimum climb gradient, so we should be able to do that. No problems with the hassle of weight. Manchester's fine if we need to go up there. Torp, I'm not going to worry too much about. Stockholm is interesting though, just having a quick look at Stockholm. It's got 08 right 26 is closed due to work in progress, and 01 right and 19 left is closed due to not cleared. So this is what is missing from SimBrief, because I haven't been able to get this information yet.
Refueling truck is on its way.
They can't seem to retrieve SNOTAM,
Please
so
don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do
I'm
it.
fairly sure that there'll be a SNOTAM for Stockholm, which I might be able to see. I might be able to look at in the flights, but yeah, there'll be a SNOTAM to sort of describing the contamination, the depth, you know, how much the runway is sort of cleared and stuff. It looks like 01 right and 19 left isn't cleared at all. So we're sort of down to a single runway really for our main alternate that we're sort of going to select. So yeah, we're sort of putting our eggs in one basket a little bit with that one, but the weather's generally good. There shouldn't be any reasons we can't get in. And we'll take extra fuel anyway, just in case we need to start thinking of other things as well if we can't get into Oslo. So usual en route NOTAMs, not going to worry too much about them. War and peace, usual sort of stuff. Probably loads of stuff about COVID. Sigmet's not too bad, nothing really CB wise, bit of a jet stream up here, sort of near Bergen, and a little bit of sort of turbulence, bit of maybe medium to moderate turbulence sort of around here over the UK. But we're sort of going over the North Sea, so we should be clear of that. So that's basically the flight plan in a nutshell. Yeah, we're not going to take plug fuel, so plug fuel is about 5.1. But so we want another 8.
The ticket shows traffic, Turkish 5 Kilo Bravo, taxing to runway 27 right via.
Quiet. Yeah, we're going to take 800 for the alternates. It's not going to be busy, obviously, because it's vaccines. So I mean, normally they'd be probably pretty busy. Arrival. I keep always have on top chat. I always miss other people's chat. There we go. So yeah, probably might be a bit of holding as well. So maybe another 20 minutes of holding. That'd be about another 600 or 700. So that's 1,500 total. And I'm not going to mess around at all because there's no limits here we need to worry about landing weight. Even if we put another 3 tons on, we're still landing at sort of 58, 59 tons. So I'm not going to mess about. I want to give us plenty of time, especially if this fuel planning SimBrief profile doesn't quite marry up with what the burn is on the fly-by-wire. So I'm going to go with 8. That's an extra. Is that 5.8 or 5? I can't quite tell if that's a 0. I think that is a 0, isn't it? Yeah, just making sure that wasn't a 5.8. It's not. It's an 8 is there. So yeah, I'm going to put basically 3 tons on because it's not a particularly good day and it just gives us loads of options. That's probably a little bit excessive to be fair, but yeah, if I just say 8, I'm quite happy with that because it just covers all the bases. And if we start loading as well, passengers aren't going to take very long. Crest boarding
requested.
And fuel we want 8 tons. I don't know why this is started with like 8 something or 9. Can I type it? I can type it, can't I? 8 0. Real.
Do you want a board crew?
No.
Passengers boarding starting.
Or have I already got fuel on? No, 3.8 it says there. Or have I got to do this via GSX? Maybe that's it. Yes, I'm confused of how to do this now. Why is that not highlighted? Or can I not do it until the fuel trucks arrive? Maybe that's it. Yeah, has anybody worked this out yet of how to sort of actually get this working? I need to get my Navigraph up. That's everything I need to do. Not even set the aircraft up yet. But that doesn't take very long. We know that doesn't take very long at all.
Fuel truck is in position.
Oh, good.
Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
Right, let's get the flight plan up. Navigraph, import SimBrief. That one there. Thank you very much. You have to wait for the fuel truck. Okay. Well, you know, I mean, that's quite good, isn't it? I suppose that. It even changes colour. As if they've opened a hatch. Come on, mate, hurry up, I've got to get going. Oh, is there 2 of them? Oh, there's 2 of them! Oh, they're overcrewed. There's usually only one doing this. And he's walked through the engine. Well done. Maybe he's training. Maybe that's why they're going so slow. One of them's training. That's usually what happens. Now I really could get going. Could do with getting going. I need to look at the holdover times as well, possibly for the de-icing. And yeah, probably type 4 for this again, just because there is holdover times for type 4. That's what I need. So we'll have a look at that in a second.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
Fuel. Right, payloads. Baggage trucks. Okay, so we haven't been told about the passengers just yet. Okay, fair enough. Hopefully that will come on shortly. A320, yep, it's the A3 fly-by-wire, A320 fly-by-wire, AMGD. Right, let's have a quick get going with all of this as well. Try and get this uploaded, otherwise we'll be a bit behind schedule. Don't really want to be too late today. I mean, what was the flight time? Flight time is about 1 hour and 47 minutes. So that's not going to be too bad. That's going to be fine if we can get going by 11:30. That's good. So there we go. Heathrow to Oslo. Let's put Stockholm as the alternate. Speed per 71 Papa. Cost index 18 apparently. I've got no idea if that's the cost index BA use. Nigel's use. Who knows? Tropo is 4078. So what's that worth? 4078. Temperature is very cold. Yeah, I need to get the weather, don't I? Let's get that. So let's write this down. So wind speed is 220 at 5. 1 degree. QNH 1033, still quite a high QNH. Good stuff. Right, so 1033. Apologies if you start getting sick because me all playing around. I forget these are linked. Yeah, 1033, good. 1033 and 1 degree. So yeah, bloody cold again. We're taking off Heathrow 27 right is probably the departure. That's what they're using in real life. So that's what I'm expecting. And Brookman's Part 7 Fox. That is in. That is in. Stop is for 6,000, I think it is, if I remember correctly. 6,000 for the Brookman's Park. Arrival is. I'm expecting 19 right. That's probably the better one to land on. 19 right. And what's the arrival? The Ripam for Mike. Good. There we go. So that's that done. That's Spire. Oh, that's a good question. Why are we coming in Titler? That kind of rings a bell. No, Babad. That'd be Babad Bollocks. Let's go by Babad. Right, you're in, you're in. I will need that in a second for the emergencies. Let's have a quick look at the emergency procedures. Not that one. Where am I looking? That one. I'm talking to myself there. I'm just actually looking for the right documents in my PC. Sadly, I won't be doing the return. That's the only thing. I don't really have time to do that. But never mind. It's a shame. But maybe another day. Right, 27 right emergencies is NADP 2. That's good. 1600 feet right to Bovingdon. So let's just hard tune that just so we know where we're going. Bovingdon, 16 miles away. Yes. You actually have to turn you off. Don't need you. So Bovingdon's identified, so against the right there. Performance. I'd do that in a second using the iPad. Fly Smart. Zero fuel weight is 53.9. /30. I'll get these updated figures as soon as we get people on board. What's the? It's about 800. So 7 and 8 is 15. Let's say 1.6 to Stockholm. If you go in, you're going to go in. No, they haven't quite done this yet. Have they? Not quite sorted this page out. Annoyingly, I might be able to do it once I've done that. Actually, that's kind of rings a bell. I think Gav used to do that. 4.8. No, I'm not taking that. I'm taking 8 tons. But that's not too bad, actually. I mean, it said block was about 5 tons, and that's saying 4.8. So that's pretty close. That's not so bad at all. I haven't done actually the winds. I should have done that. That might have changed things a little bit. But it's a tailwind. IRS, yeah, we're all done there. Good. 5. Yeah, there we go. So 2.3 is CNR. That's correct. So yeah, it gives us an extra hour, which is kind of what we want. So we want a good amount of thinking time, just to sort of see what we're doing. It's fly-by-wire, Cobus. Yeah. Cost index was 15 this morning. Was that BA? Was it, Andy? It's around 15. Is it? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's something around there, isn't it? I mean, I'm not too worried about it. Right, so fuel we've done. We've looked at secondary. We can't do this yet, so we just know that the emergency procedure is just straight ahead, 1,600 feet on the Barrow, and then we just a right-hand turn to Bovingdon, which is where are you? Up here somewhere. Is that it? Yeah, Bovingdon. So 1,600 feet right turn, hold up here, and then we've got a holding procedure, which is I've already got it open. So yeah, the hold at Bovingdon is 116 inbound this way, right hand turn, so we can sort of go around that way. Good, so that's nice and easy. Topper Sky, is that a planning thing? I'm not too sure. Right, can I get passengers on? I need to get passengers on. I need to get going. Why can't I get passengers on? Why are you not? Will you not do it whilst you're refuelling? Which I'm sure you can refuel with passengers on board. I'm sure I used to do it. At least we haven't got many to go. How are we actually doing for the fuel anyway? Almost there. So they're almost done. Perfect. So maybe we've just got to wait until the refueling's done. It's Virtual Airline part of Fly UK group. Okay. Right, they're done. Perfect. Right, bounce can go on. Let's get the APU on. Yeah, why can I still not see passengers? It says baggage loading in process. I can't see any baggage trucks. Need to import from Simbri. Well, I thought I did. I thought I did do that. When it says import from Simbrief, I mean, what are we looking at? Well, I say I've done that already. Is there like a button up here I need to press? Go on, Andy. Did you populate the Simbrief details? Do you mean in the options? Third party, I've got that on. Pin programs. It's somewhere in. I mean, I do have Simbrief stuff in here. AOC, Simbrief user. You know, that's all in. Off to Pisa from Bristol. Oh, nice. Will I be driving? No, I probably won't be, Pete. So, sadly not. No, I'm not doing a lot of flying today. This recently. Very quiet. Is fueling done? Well, you just said fueling's done. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Now this started. So can I do this now? Fuel on. I got the 8 tons that I wanted. Services. I'm sort of expecting this to sort of populate with something. I think you can't start boarding if it's still... Well, it has stopped, so... You know, the loading's just started. So they've just started doing this. I'm just surprised there's nothing actually sort of kind of here. Just seems to be taking a really long time, that's all, which, you know, in reality it would never take this long. You wouldn't be having to wait for things to be done to start. I mean, you know, occasionally you can't board with refueling going on, but no reason should not be able to load passengers and fuel at the same time. Seatbelts are off. Is that making a difference? Finish boarding, I don't want to do that. No, my Simbrief is it? Never seems to say it's connected. I don't know why. Does this make a difference if my sim brief isn't connecting? I don't know. It just never seems to connect for me. I'm not too sure what's going on with that. Yeah, fueling's done. Yeah. Oh, connected. Oh, there we go. I don't even know what this has done, to be honest. That's Simbridge. Nothing to do with Simbridge, has it? Like, I don't know what this has done, but okay, fair enough. Import data. So it's already there, so I'm a bit confused. Very easily to confuse me. Oh, this way we're going to be late because I can't actually get anybody on board. We're going. Simbridge says the extra app that can start fly by to get terrain. Oh, okay, fair enough. Got all that done. That's done. Oh, you never know. Maybe I have to wait for the bloody loading to finish as well. But I don't know. Nothing is going on at all, which is quite frustrating. That's it. Crunch. That'll leave a mark. Maybe I'll restart it. Or reload. Maybe reload SimBrief. Maybe that was... maybe that was it. Maybe I need to press the red button. Nope. The loaded flight plan doesn't match the one on SimBrief. Well, it should do. Yeah, 104 passengers. Let's just restart it. Let's just do that. It's not going to change. Just if in doubt, turn it off, turn it on again. Nope. Oh, is this just buggy maybe? I don't know. Yeah, restart it. I've done that. Have you added the passengers? Well, I have, because it's got payload. So, it's got where is it? It's got payload up here. So I mean, it is expecting passengers. That's not 9.6 tons of nothing. No, they started. Doing things. SimBrief's okay. That's all good. So that was a bit better. That was red, wasn't it, before? I'm surprised this hasn't got anything on there, to be honest. Mind you, don't have GSX. Okay. Yeah, but probably not quite as qualified to answer. SimBridge remote access. Okay, fair enough, John. Well, I can't even click on this thing. I can't even force it. Can I start this? Can I turn it off and turn it on again? It's probably not going to make any difference, is it? But I might just have to force it and just say finish loading. Maybe that will do it. Finish boarding. passengers coming in either. Interesting. Either something's buggy or I've just completely buggered something up. I don't know. Baggage loading. Was it going to wait for the? That's the thing. Is it going to wait for the bags to load and then load the passengers? There might be a sequence. That's the only thing I can think of. Is it's doing things in sequence. How'd you get that type of iPad in the fly-by-wire? I have the old one. Well, I've updated the fly-by-wire app this morning, so maybe it's just an older fly-by-wire thing. Alright, so just update it. There is a planned third-party page for the FB. Not sure if so much of that has sim brief controls in it. Yeah, well, I've got it says here third-party stuff, and it's got GSX fueling synchronization, GSX payload synchronization, which I have turned on, but it doesn't seem to have actually really done anything. So I need someone from fly-by-wire or something maybe to come on and sort of talk about it. But we'll see what happens once the boarding, once the loading's done, because maybe once they've loaded the bags, maybe the passengers will come on. Maybe that would be it, potentially. Anyway, let's have a quick brief while they're doing that. Let's not waste time doing. Sort of staring out the window doing nothing. So we're all done. Let's get you on, get you warmed up a bit. That's all fine. In terms of what we're going to do, weather's pretty horrible. Probably going to de-ice because it's pretty crap out there with some showers. The aircraft is all fine. It's fly-by-wire terrain. Does that work? I don't know. Maybe it might work. So we got that. We got all automatic TCAS, soft go around as well. So fly-by-wire. Neo, NOTAMs. There wasn't really too many NOTAMs to affect us threats. Terrain's pretty good. It's about 4,000. It's nice and safe. We're just going to be doing de-icing most likely. So de-icing procedures would have to be doing that. In terms of holdover time, I'm not too sure what they're going to be using. Maybe Clarion SafeWing is usually a pretty common one. So let's pick one of those Clarion SafeWing MP4. Let's have a look at that. So in terms of the holdover time, it is -3 degrees and above. We're probably going to use about 75% concentration. Freezing fog, freezing mist, or ice crystals. What does it actually say in terms of the weather? So there's no real freezing fog reported. It's mist, 2,300 meters. Let's have a quick look at 2,300 meters would be. During the day above -1, so it'd be light. That'd be light snowfall intensity if it happens with that sort of visibility. If it went down to what I have to go down to before it's moderate, so I'd have to go between 1,000 and 1,400 meters before it's then a moderate snowfall intensity if we start getting snow. So if we go worst case, 75% concentration and moderate light snow, probably worst case. Light freezing rain, it's not really that. So, but if it was 45 minutes is effectively the worst case. Rain on a cold soaked wing though would be 10 minutes. That's the worst case. So yeah, if it was a rain on a cold soaked wing, we wouldn't have much time at all. We'd probably have to do a remote de-icing if we could do that. But I don't think Heathrow has remote de-icing. I think baggage loading is the same phase as boarding, so maybe you can change passenger values. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Christian. Yeah. At least it sounds. Maybe GS thinks you've already done. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I've got no idea. Maybe I can't do this until the boarding. But there's no passengers. That's the thing. There's no passengers here. So all these values are useless. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I'm just going to wait. If we got to wait, I've got loads of time today. I'm not. If we've got to be late, we've got to be late. But yeah, potentially in terms of holdover time, I'd say maybe an hour and 45 minutes is probably the lowest we'd want to go down to, which is fine. We can accommodate that. 67% of the bags. Did you go into Accu AOC? Init press. Init data request. I mean, I didn't. But then I just did it this way. Is that going to make any difference? No, doesn't make any difference. Have you tried pressing again import sim brief button on the first page? Yeah, several times. It just doesn't really do anything. It's just reloading the same flight, which obviously is the last flight I've effectively done. So curious. Like I said, we'll see what happens once we've loaded the bags, and then if it's still not working, then it may be a bit more of an issue. We might have to do something. Either, I don't know, maybe disconnect the GSX third-party thing, and maybe if I do that, I won't do it just yet. But yeah, if we disconnect the third-party thing, the payload synchronization, maybe that might help. Maybe then we can force it. But yeah, we'll just try that as a contingency once we're done. Right, anyway, let's have a look at. We'll try and have a look at performance. It's a bit hard to look at performance because I haven't actually got any payload figures, which is not straightforward to do. I can sort of kind of guess. Where am I? On Heathrow, aren't I? Heathrow, Oslo. Departure. We are 27 right. Let's have a look at an intersection. Intersection, I think Alpha 5 we should look at. Alpha 5, what's... Takeoff minimums. Alpha 5 is 3136 meters. That's it. Wind, what was the wind? I've written it down, I don't know why I'm looking at this. 2205. 1 degree, very cold. 1033. It's wet, it's not really sort of contaminated. Anti-ice will definitely be on. Takeoff weight, we are going to be... Well, let's have a look. We can look at this in the actual flight plan, I suppose. So we're going to be 3 tons on top of the takeoff weight, so that's 58.7. That's going to be what? 59.60, 61.6. Takeoff weights, use standard CRG. So at least I've got some performance figures, which I can plug in. I have free stuff, bugger off, don't care about that. So in terms of performance, we got speeds of 129, so yeah, pretty low speeds, but we're pretty lightweight. 131. 134. Oh, come on. Now, what are you doing? $131. 134. NADP 1. Sorry, NADP 2. There's been an article recently, I don't know if anybody's seen it, certainly in the UK, an article about steeper takeoffs. Like, I mean, the press, they're fucking idiots, they really are. High flex, 69%, so yeah, very, very low takeoff thrust. Yeah, the press are fucking idiots when they come to reporting aviation things. They just do not have the Scooby-Doo what they're talking about. It really does annoy me. Because they're just idiots. Can you go to yeah, quite possibly one day, Mr. Dukaya, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I might be able to do that one day. EG out 27 left. We're coming back on 27 left if anything goes wrong, because that's the landing runway. Right, have we any progress yet? No, still nothing. So yeah, the boarding, the loading's been done. I feel like I'm missing something really obvious. Boarding complete. So it thinks... Yeah, so GSX thinks boarding's complete. But the fly-by-wire doesn't. Right, let's do this. Let's disconnect this. Because I don't think this is particularly working like it should. There we go. And that was instant, I think. Right, that's better. Yeah, somehow it was disabling this, which is... I'll have to come back and play with this one time. And I did have... I'm sure I had... Yeah, boarding time real. Oh, where have you gone? In boarding. Oh, now it's going to do it in real time. Field payload information from SimBrief. Right, again, let's just assume realism. Let's just turn this to instant. Boarding time, I was there anyway, instant. Right, I think we're done. I think that's sorted. Turn off the payload sync. Yeah, that's what I've done, Christian. So, okay, that's not too bad. So we're good. We've still got another 6 minutes still supposed to go. So zero fuel weight. Let's have a quick look at this just so we can get the init B page done. 32.9 is the zero fuel weight. Where have you gone? Why aren't you?
Boarding complete
There we go, sorted. Ah, it's stupid. Daft, stupid thing. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I've still got to play this. I'm probably not quite familiar in terms of what the buttons are doing. But GSX is loaded, this is done. Fly-by-wire is now done, good, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's get this in. Init page, what's it got for the zero fuel weight? Does it say that? It should do. Zero fuel weight's 52.2. 52, so a little bit less, a little bit, bit lighter than what was the plan. 52 to 32.9.
Myself, your captain, the first officer and cabin crew. I'd like to take this time to welcome you aboard our flight.
I've gone all American again.
Paperwork up front here and waiting to see final numbers from the ground.
Right, there we go. So the weights are in. 52.930. Was that right?
We do ask that you give them your full undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business.
32.9. There we go.
Anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask.
52.2.
Welcome aboard.
Right, I think that's sorted. So 8 tons, that is what we've got. 60.7, I think that's what we worked out for the takeoff weight, more or less. Headwinds, actually a bit of tailwind, so yeah, a bit of extra fuel, good. So that's done, that's done, that's done, that's done, that's done. Performance is all done. Fuel we got plenty. Secondary can't do anyway. So yeah, we're good to go. So let's have a quick look just to the aircraft acceptance. So we've got plenty of oil. Again, I was on a Neo I think yesterday, and it was like the oil quantity was about 15.5. You know, that's sort of what you get on a Neo. So yeah, definitely too high. So hydraulics are good. What am I pressing? Oxygen quantity is good as well. So let's do a quick cockpit preparation checklist. There's my checklist gone. There you are. That one. Don't want delay codes. Yeah, where's it gone? Checklist. Yeah. Checklist. So the aircraft acceptance has been completed. Fuel quantity, we've seen that it's 8 tons and it's balanced. Seatbelts are on. No, they're not. Seatbelts are on. That's all done. Fuel pumps are done. Let's get rid of you. ADRSs, they are 3 in nav. And the Barra F is QNH 1033. Right, do we have any ATC? We did earlier, but I think they've probably gone, so it might just be Unicom. Where's V pilots? So yeah, we've got no ATC at all, which is probably not a bad thing actually. That means we can just sort of deal with it ourselves. So we've done that. Let's have a look at the de-icing procedures, because we need to have a look at that as well. QRH. We can get the aircraft set up. So I've been doing this quite regularly actually. Supplementary procedures, de-icing. So obviously lots of cautions. Captain has to be sort of certain about everything, authorise everything, establish the ground crew. We will do de-icing fluid, we would check. We're going to use type 4. Do not start the engines, which we won't. We'll start them once they're done. The ground crew won't sort of spray anything in the APU, etc., etc. Don't move any flaps. So in terms of what we're going to do, check the pressure mode selector is auto, which is this one here. So it would say manual if it was not on auto. So yeah, that's on auto. Engine 1 and 2 bleed off. They're off. If the engines were running, we might get a ECAM caution. We're not going to do that because engines aren't running. If there is a vent avionics systems fault, we can do a reset on that as well. It doesn't look like we're doing that. APU bleed, that is off. And ditch and push button is on. That's the ditch and push button confirmed. That is on. So thrust levers are idle, which are good. So the aircraft is prepared for spraying. Hey Chris, how you doing? Get you back there. What else have we got to do? So I don't need to worry about Unicom. I don't have to worry about ATC. We're ready. Right, can I just get rid of chocks and those cones? Services. Is that open? Is that open? No, still attached. Okay. Good, that's gone. There's nothing about chocks in here, is there? No. Is it in here? Push back. Nope. Okay, I think those cones or something on the ground are just they're not really going to affect us. Right, that's fine. So we're ready to go. Let's see if we can ask for the push. Do you want de-icing? Yes, I do.
The icing vehicles are coming now.
Ditch button helps shut the aircraft. Yeah, I'll come to that in seconds, John. It does the it does a few valves. Basically, it controls the outflow valve. Well, that's the main thing. It goes. This is usually open on the ground. So yeah, when you press this, what you're doing is you are making sure that the outflow valve closes. So yeah, that goes on, and then this closes, and then basically this is just imagine this is the cabin. So you've got a safety valve at the back which pops if the differential pressure goes above 8.9 or something, where that red bit is. So that would pop if differential pressure exceeds. And then you've got inlet and outlet valves, which are the air conditioning outflow valves, the avionics. So they're at the front of the aircraft, and the outflow valve at the back. So you're basically sealing the cabin so no de-icing fluid enters the sort of pressurized part of it, which then obviously can cause fumes and various other things. Where can I see if I can have a look? I'll do it on this way. Showcase. So yeah, the outlet inlet and outlet valves, get me bloody words out. They are, where are they? Are they even modelled? They're here somewhere. I don't even think they're there. I can't think you can see them. There's the avionics door. Yeah, there's a oh, is that it? That's it, I think. There's a valve, so these open.
Confirm aircraft is ready for treatment.
Yes. Type 4, please. 75%.
We begin treatment now and observe. Fluid type 4, concentration at 75%. I will call you back when ready.
That's the outflow valve. Outlet, So yeah, that's the outflow valve. So that closes. So basically, the cabin is completely sort of what's the words? Can't give me words out, so I can't think of it. It's noisy. Yeah, the cabin's sealed. That's the word I'm after. So yeah, the cabin's actually sealed. Yeah, they're going far too fast on this. Yeah. Right, let's actually not start that one. Let's do this one. There we go. It's the start of the de-ice of the holdover. Probably not on the default model. Looking forward to fly-by-wire. I'm sure they would add these all operating. Yeah, I'm not too sure if they were operating. I was just seeing if they actually sort of modelled, you know, just so you could see it on the skin, on the sort of livery.
De-icing and anti-icing completed. Anti-icing code is fluid type 4, concentration at 75%. I am disconnecting. Good day.
Good, so he's completed. So picked up the statics would have been checked. Ground equipment's being removed. The icing report has been received. So addition push button, that can go back to on now. If I can get the button. Is that done? Yeah, I think that's done. That's done. Outflow valve, that's opening. Good. So that's opened.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by starting engines until push is completed and brakes are set.
Yeah, that's fine. So at least 1 minute after completion of spraying, we can... Oh, I should have done that. Keep forgetting to do that. So we can put the engine 1, bleed 1 and 2 back on, so about 30 seconds after that.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
And then at least 5 minutes after the spray, and that's when we can put the APU bleed back on. So yeah, I think I said this to Christian yesterday. We're only going to put this on after 5 minutes because we've de-iced on the stand. That's that's a sort of 5-minute limit, and then once we've done that, they've done the normal procedures, we can resume. So we can still push, that's not a problem. We just can't put the...
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
In fact, saying that, we need the APU bleed for the engine start, don't we? So yeah, maybe might have to wait a few minutes just before this. So this is where it gets a little bit tedious, because you've got to wait for these things. Is the GSX integration working well? No, Liana. The boarding thing, so we're going to be facing west, facing east on Yankee. Yeah. No, it wasn't.
Locking gear.
Right, let's go back to Unicom. Do we have guard on? Guards on 2. We don't need to speak to you though. That's done. That's done. That's done. Right, it says a minute. We can get the engine bleeds back on. So that's done. Where's the anti-ice on? Oh, I don't know where this has come from. I've got an FO that's playing City Buggers, pressing random buttons.
Release parking brakes.
Not yet, mate. Go away. Oh, it's got Heathrow Tower. Okay. Right, you're just going to have to hold on for a minute, sweetheart.
Release parking brakes, please.
Can I cancel that, actually? Right, abort the pushback. That's better. Let's just hold this in. Let's just get a bit more information. Let's do that too. Because at least we can get... So it's alright, it gives us 5 minutes for the APU, so that's not a problem. Alright, it's just
with Heathrow. Heathrow Information Hotel, time 1150 Zulu, automatic. Arrival runway 27 left, departure runway 27 right, transition level flight level 65, surface winds 210 degrees 5 knots, varying between 190 and 250 degrees, visibility 2,200 meters mist, overcast 200 feet, temperature +1, dew point +1, QNH 1033. Acknowledge receipt of information hotel, and report aircraft.
Good, that's done. So 18.5, let's get him on. So I could probably do the performance with a crosswind. I'll have a look at that in a second.
On a 3 mile final via Sierra Bravo 3, cross 27 left behind.
Sierra Bravo 3 and behind the landing British Airways A320, cross runway 27 left behind, flying Bulgaria 852.
Third 617, nothing further for you. Minus Unicom 122, definitely. Bye-bye.
Lost the tug now, it's not good.
Going to Unicom, thank you for your services, sir. Good day.
Oh, bugger off then. Heathrow Tower, very good morning to Speedbird 7 Papa India, stand 520-320. Now got information, hotel requesting clearance to Oslo, please.
Third 7 Papa India Heathrow Tower, good afternoon. You cleared Oslo Guard amount. The book is Park 7 Foxtrot departure, squawk 7327.
Thank you very much. Cleared Oslo, Bruntman's Park 7 Foxtrot departure, squawk 7327. We'll be ready to push probably in about 30 seconds. Speedbird 7 Papa India.
So 7 Papa India, thanks you. Back correct. When ready, stand 520, push a brief facing east.
Thanks very much. When ready, stand 520, push start approved, face east, Speedbird 7 Papa India.
Heathrow Tower, good morning.
Right, 7327, that's done, that's on me, that's all good. Right, fine. So, we've done that, let's get these back.
Heathrow Tower, hello, you cleared to Washington Dulles, the Compton 3 Foxtrot departure, squawk is, squawk 2731.
Come on, GSX.
Clear to Dallas is via the Compton 3 Foxtrot departure, squawk 2731.
Oh, fuck's sake, I have to bloody restart something.
Arm doors and crossing.
Third 7 Whiskey correct.
Very buggy, isn't it, sometimes, GSX? I don't know what's going on with it. Thank you. Right, that's better. I'll faff around with your controls someday. Fine. Can mock me instead of. No, I've just done that.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by starting engines until push is completed and brakes are set.
Right, force out checks, parking brake is on. Takeoff data is confirmed.
Bulgaria 852, taxi straight ahead
Windows are
on Lima, all the way
closed.
to the north.
Flight modes,
then right to Alpha,
speedies
hold on.
are... Yeah, they're working.
Pushback.
Doors
Straight
are
ahead on
closed
Lima, all
and
the way to the northern
arms,
side, right
and the
Alpha,
beacon
hold Alpha 4,
is
flying Bulgaria
on.
852.
Sports that checks complete. Right, AP Blue's back on now, so we've had 5 minutes. That's good.
Should have Bravo, welcome Heathrow. First left onto Alpha, hold Charlie Yankee, expect stand 503.
First left on to Alpha Hold Short Yankee, expect stand 503, shuttle, Sim Bravo.
So a little bit late going, 10 minutes, but I mean that's pretty normal when you're de-icing. So facing east.
Blocking gear.
Cruise have whiskey stand 557, push and start up to face north.
Push and start, go face north.
It is very good, Chris. It's fine. There's a little bit of a few niggles, and obviously they've just updated it, and you know, there's probably still a few little bugs they've got to iron out. But no, I do like it, and I think Lee was saying on something earlier that he wish he could go find the stream where I was saying it's just a load of bloody eye candy. It's not worth it.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by starting engines until push is completed and brakes are set.
But I do like it, and I like it for the reason that it suddenly gives you a lot more to think about. You know, I mean, starting this thing up, setting the box up, starting the engines, and just going straight away is bloody easy. Oh yeah, shit, I've got to get Accu Seasons out. Okay, fine. Yeah, we'll do.
Heathrow Tower, good afternoon, 235-904, request radio check.
So I like the immersion it gives. It suddenly gives you a load more things to think about, which you would normally think about in real life. So
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Ready for push and start, 594.
In that respect, I think it's very good. Because I do like that added immersion it gives you. Yeah, the interface is a bit crap. There's still a few bugs, there's still a few things that it needs to iron out. You've got to restart things and just do it. But I mean, generally, most of the time, if you just restart GSX, it usually just forces it back into the way it should be going. Just sort of gives it a bit of a slap and it sorts itself out. So, it's not so bad.
Shuttle 7 Bravo, slight change of party, so second right please, link 51. Left Bravo, left link 56, stand 5.
I thought she'd been punched.
Confirmation for a good engine
It
start.
looked like she'd had 2 black eyes. I think it's sunglasses, which probably don't need in this weather, love. But right, so we're stopped. So engine mode selector is ignition starts.
Is that link 51 in Bravo?
BA, and that's what we do because we're
link
Nigels.
56 to 53, shuttle.
The interface is terrible. It's not. It's not the best interface.
Link 51, left Bravo, left link 56, stand 503.
But I can cope with that, Elliot, buddy.
Roger,
You're right.
shuttle to Bravo.
Yeah, we'll do something once we're in the cruise.
Easy 130, request clearance to EDDL, Echo type A320, stand number 270.
Right, where's my holding points?
So easy 1308, so again your stand number.
That's what I need, that one.
270, 217.
Stand by brake, flying Bulgaria 852, the surface wind is 210 degrees 5 knots, from Alpha 4 runway 27 right, clear for takeoff.
No, didn't start that.
From Alpha 4, clear takeoff 27 right, flying Bulgaria 852.
Easy 130, sorry, it might be 213.
Oh, I was supposed to take the taco mints out of the freezer earlier, I completely forgot myself. Right, 2 started, let's start number 1. Obviously, sort of LVPs, we wouldn't do sort of single engine in this really. Not particularly good weather for that. Why does it say nacelle anti-ice?
It's actually showing up as 233, I think.
So I've not turned it on yet, but there's another little thing with flyby wires. That shouldn't be there until I've actually turned it on.
Squawk 2167.
You repeat that again, sorry.
Easy 1308, yep.
Constantly beeping at you. Yeah, there is.
7 Foxtrot departure.
Yeah, can you turn the beeps off? I'll just be able to turn the beeps off. That'd be a bit better.
to dust or something.
Right, I'll tell her it's a good start.
I don't get a bit, which what?
Cockpit to ground.
Keep on lagging out a bit.
Good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking the nose
That's
gear.
lagging out. You want to go clear to the BBK 7F departure, squawk 2167.
Good, that's started. That's
It's
done.
1308, correct.
Most sectors back to normal. Bleed is off. Anti-ice is on. God, we're going to be zooming along with this because we're so light. That's off. Spoilers are down. Rudder trim 0. Flaps 1. What was the CG? We've got to look down here. Fuel condition. So center of gravity is 32.7.
906, thank you, cleared Frankfurt, Dublin 2 Foxtrot departure, squawk 2105.
So 32.7 is about there.
That's 2 Foxtrot departure.
Status is normal, good.
2105, speedway 906.
Right is clear.
So 906, sorry, I have no idea where that number came from. It's squawk 0266.
Okay, sorry, squawk 0266, speedway 906.
So 906, thanks.
See you later, sweetheart.
We'll be back, correct.
Probably shouldn't say that's what we
Thanks, and we are ready for push start.
So 906,
Thank you.
thank you, stand 51.
TTFN.
In fact, just hold position, I'll be on to pasta and I'll call
It's
you.
320, 321. 321 Neo, even. That looks good.
And flying by
Alright.
852, nothing further, I'm afraid. Monitor Unicom 122, that's late, bye bye.
Monitor Unicom, flying Bulgaria 852, thanks very much, bye bye.
Right, the after starts. Anti-ice is on. Ecom status is checked. Pitch trim is 32.7% set, and the rudder trim is neutral. Right, let's get going. Tower Speedbird 7, Papa India taxi.
So 7 Papa India, thank you. Second left onto Bravo, link 58, right Alpha, hold Alpha 4.
Thank you very much. Second left Bravo, link 58, Alpha, and Alpha 4, Speedbird 7, Papa India. Right, that's a second left, Bravo, link 58 down the ends, then second right on Alpha, and Alpha 4 is all the way down the end. We've got Alpha 5 figures, so that's all good. Right, done, done, done. Let's go and get out of here. And we're going to race away on this with these sort of weights. Right, the brakes are checked. Didn't actually really check left or right. Should have done that. Left was clear, right was clear. Of course it was. Straight ahead to second left. So clear on the right. 321 is on the left. We'll go in front of him. Yeah, I've given up. Yeah, I fucking hate the overlay, but Leon, it's shit. I'm just not using that again. It's just a pile of wank. So yeah, overlay has gone, never to be seen again. So if you want to know ETA, just ask me. It's in the box, and landing rates just have to guess. As long as we can use the aircraft again, then we're fine.
Speedbird 5994, ready to taxi, request departure from Alpha 6.
Surge 594, thanks. Taxi via Alpha, hold short.
Right, flight controls, full up, full down.
Taxi via Alpha, hold
neutral,
short, link 58, Speedbird
full left, full right,
and
neutral.
906, that's the company, have a safety 21.
No, I can't do that.
Left to right behind on Alpha.
Right, full left rudder, sort of, full right rudder, sort of. That would do.
Okay, after
good,
the
done,
company
done, done.
A321, passing on
You're
up from
on.
behind, push to the
You are all
stand
on
one,
me.
517, the 906.
You can go on, you're done.
Season 130,
You're
great
done.
for taxi.
I think.
1308, thanks. First right to Bravo, hold
Oh, yeah,
short
cabin.
Titan.
First like Bravo,
Do
hold
that,
short
so
tight,
don't hold back now, HD. Oh, there's the rain. Where is the rain? So we said about an hour and 45 minutes for holdover time, probably worst case for these sort of conditions. Right, so straight down here, second right on Alpha, and then down to the end we got Alpha 4. We got Alpha 5 figures, so that's fine. Where are we? Dingo. Dango, dingo. Dingo, dango. Right, clear on the left, clear on the right. Yeah, it's a sort of rainy, snowy, sleety weather, so not particularly good. be very good. It'd be nice to land in this. Be very interesting. Right, down to the end. Right, I've got excellent cabin crew on day today, so yeah, they've done that.
Heathrow broadcast information India, current QNH 1032. So again, information India, new QNH 1032 broadcast.
Right, it's good. So we've got a QNH drop with 1032, so we've not one off the flex for that. So let's clear that. So flex good to 68. That just accounts for the drop in pressure. 68, done. Where am I going? Oops. Just as well, the taxiways are wide, aren't they? Right, that's done. So taxi checklist, flight controls are checked. Flap setting we have config.
Was that all tight again?
FMA climb blue 152, red updated wind sheet is on.
And link 22.
Oh, that bloody works. Eco memo, take off no blues, and EFBs are stowed and disconnected. So taxi checks are complete. Come on, girl, let's get going. I've got a mile to go yet. Just finishing the OBS overlay, possible streaming it, and see.
3594, continue Alpha.
Yeah, I might have to look at Volanta or something, Chris. Sorry.
Continue Alpha, hold Alpha.
Because the Fly Live Studio one, it's just gash. It's just, I'm sorry, but you know, if you're from that company, I mean, it may be me, maybe it's me just being shite, but it just never really works. Never works like I want it to work. And it always sort of, I always think the landing rate is probably the most interesting bit, isn't it? People want to see, you know, how well a real pilot is.
First right, Bravo, hold short, Titan.
Landed, and yeah, it just never seems to work. So it's just a bit crap.
So I must be sorry. I've got somebody taxiing I've not spoken to. Can you just hold short
3 minutes with that.
Hold short, Lima 7 with you.
So, oh god, we're not even past the tower yet, Jesus. I thought we'd at least pass sort of terminal sort of 3 bit.
Delta Foxtrot ready.
That's 39 Delta Foxtrot, thanks. You cleared to Sophia, the deck link to Foxtrot.
It rarely works on gas streams, right. Yeah, I don't think it does. I think he pays, I know he pays for Streamlabs. He's got a slightly more professional setup than me. He actually pays for stuff.
Could you please repeat the departure and...
Do we have any frequencies after us? No, we don't, so it's Unicom after departure.
And the QNH 1032.
Cleared here, via 7 right, get linked to Foxtrot departure.
Do the wipers work?
3537.
Well, they do.
India,
well, they're on. They're not actually doing anything. Well, that's actually very. That's similar to real world wipers. The real world wipers are just a shite of that.
Via Lima, hold Lima 2.
Easy 1308, the surface 220 degrees 5 knots, mark 2, runway 27 right, clear for takeoff.
7 right, clear for takeoff.
So, I mean, that's pretty cool. You know, somebody's been clear for takeoff. Can't even see him yet. You know, he's so far down there in the mist that, you know, you'd have no idea somebody's on the runway taking off.
Hello, speed for 390, flight stand 557, Boeing 747-400, QNH 1033 with India on board, checkers clearance to Beijing.
39 Heathrow Tower, thanks, cleared Beijing, the Brookness Park 7
Someone's going to Beijing, Christ.
And Squawk 7501, QNH 1032.
Like the wipers on my car, 100% useless, yeah. Oh, there he is. Right, so we've got Alpha 4 clearances, we can go from Alpha 5. Alpha 4 is actually Pluto, so we're holding up Pluto.
So 39 correct, break. So 29 Delta Foxtrot, give way to the company Airbus A320 Neo, left to right on Alpha, then taxi right Alpha, hold Alpha
4. Give way to the company A320.
Yeah, bitches, I got right away, buddy. Wonder if the controller senses that I kind of know what I'm doing. That's probably a bit condescending, really, isn't it? Speedbird 7 on Papa India is approaching Pluto.
Speed 7 Papa India, thanks very much. Behind departing EasyJet, there's just rolling via Alpha 4 line up 27 right behind.
Beyond departing EasyJet via Alpha 4 line up 27 right behind. Speedbird 7 Papa India. Good, so that's the clearance. Is this Alpha 4? I think it is, that is. Alpha 4, that one there. Good, so you can come on. You can come on. You can come on. You can come on. I think I did PAX on for departure as well. PAX on or PAX, it makes no bloody difference. Really. I think I turned it off, but there we go. BA probably leave them on. Right, the approach is as clear as I can see, not that I can see anything really. Right, on you go.
Easy 1308, nothing fella for you, monitor Unicom 122.8, bye-bye.
That's done. Line up checklists. Cabin is secure for takeoff. Takeoff runway is 27 right via Alpha. Line up only, TCAS is TARA and PAX 1 and 2 are off. Line up checks are complete.
So 594, you ready for departure?
Is firm, speed 594.
So 594, thanks. From Alpha 6, 27 right, you clear for takeoff, surface and 2 for 20 degrees, 5 knots.
Clear takeoff 27 right from Alpha 6, speed 594.
And very information is intersection departure from Alpha 6, there's another 1 minute after that.
I hope that wasn't somebody just...
906, request taxi.
So 906, 5 Alpha, hold short Pluto.
Alpha, hold short Pluto, yes, 906.
No, there's no one behind me, so... That's our Speedbird 71 Papa India. Sorry, can you just confirm departure clearance?
Speedbird 7 Papa India, negative hold position, there's an intersection departure ahead, and then it'll be another minute once they're airborne.
Okay, yeah, no worries, holding position, Speedbird 7 Papa India, just for these, yeah, it's fine, cheers. Oh, he is going in front of me, bastard. I could have gone Alpha 6, can I suppose?
So 29 Foxtrot Delta, it was actually Alpha 4, but I see you've gone past that, which is not a problem. Via Alpha 3 now, line up from wake 27 right, and just caution us, intersection departures ahead.
Line up.
There you go, if in doubt, check. Right. I don't think he gave me takeoff clearance, then he cleared someone else to take off, and I'm like, oh shit, was he behind me? And then he's not, he's ahead of me, but which I probably would have noticed. But he should have said, you know, he said line up on the runway, but well, technically he should have said line up on the runway, there will be an intersection departure ahead, so I don't think he actually told me that, which is why I was a little bit confused. Anyway, don't need any wake separation turbulences, the same sort of category as us, that's fine, lights are all good, that's done, that's good, paranoid check, that's all done, 6,000 is good. Done. Technically this should be on, is weather and turbulence actually, that should be fine, it should be on +5, that should be on auto, that should be on auto, and that really should be on calibrated, but it doesn't work. Okie doke, never mind.
Heathrow Tower, good day, Leipzig 183, established ILS 27 left.
No instant reenactments today. No, well, you know, you check. If there's any doubt, you check. You stop and check. You steer blow off the rain and slush it.
Search 5 down to 4, nothing further for you, monitor Unicom 122.8, bye-bye.
Over to Unicom, thank you for the ATC, stupid 594.
So 10 Papa India, surface 20 degrees, 5 knots, 27 right, clear for takeoff.
27 right, cliff takeoff, Speedbird 7 Papa India. So winds from the left, it's fine, only a little bit.
Speedbird 39 ready for pushback and start up.
Let's go.
So 39 stand 557, push and start up, please face north.
Push and start facing north, Speedbird 39.
Take
Speedbird
off.
7 Whiskey, continue by Bravo, link 21, link 22, hold out for 2.
So Manflex 68 SRS runway.
Continue, link 21, link 22, Alpha 2 for Speedbird 7 Whiskey.
Thrust is set. 100 knots is checked. V1 rotates. Positive climb, gear up. Nav. Very misty. What a gorgeous day to go flying. I'll be above the clouds pretty quickly. Right, AP1.
418. Information hotel on board, request clearance at
Thrust on
5,
climb.
flight level 330.
You're on. So yeah, the clouds, very low cloud base, so yeah, it'll be in the blue sky very shortly.
Unicom 122.8, yep.
Unicom 122.8, speed at 717 Papa India, thanks very much, have a good day.
Speed 29 Delta Foxtrot 772.
You're done. Done. So yeah, there we go. Very low cloud base, very consistent with these sort of high pressure, sort of almost anticyclonic sort of weather conditions you get in the winter. So you know, very low cloud, but that gives you a lot of mist, a lot of sort of fog around, and all sorts of other things. Right, passing airspeed, flap 0, speed check, flap 0. Done. Don't need the lights anymore. Don't really need the anti-ice anymore. We're sort of clear of that as well. We can turn that off. And let's go up, because no ATCs, so just carry on going up. Let's go 39, let's go 31 initially. So, open climb, set standard. Standard is set cross checked, and 310 is blue. Mountain, hey, what have I done? That's better. I've tweaked me knob. Hey Peter, how you doing? How's Copenhagen? Any more tail strikes? We had 1042 yesterday. Yeah, like I said, 1049 is the highest I've seen in the real world, and that was always quite interesting. Right, I'll just wait until we're around the corner before I let the girls and boys go. Now this is the dirty paint scheme apparently. This actually looks pretty clean, doesn't look that dirty. Speedbird. Oh, there's a discontinuity. Britain's Park and I guess Quebec. Yeah, Pavo.
Roger, thank you.
Yeah, good. Right, traffic there above us climbing, so you shouldn't be any effects. Right, that's good. We can let those go. Cabin crew's released. Don't want to release cabin crew in the aircraft. Still high pitch attitudes. Yeah. You sort of you want to sort of judge it. If you're in a sort of relatively high pitch attitude, if you're holding a sort of a an S speed, or well, you wouldn't release the cabin crew into the flaps up anyway. But if you're holding like 220 knots, the pitch angle, the body angle of the aircraft, in the climb is quite steep. It's sort of pointing up here, and we're in a turn. It's a little bit uncomfortable. The cabin crew are going to feel that, and obviously they've got to move around. And I mean, they're a seasoned bunch. Our cabin crew, they know what they're doing. But you want to make it sort of as easy as them for possible. So just sort of release them when you think it's probably relatively safe to do so. Hence, why sort of pointing in the right direction. You're looking after them at the end of the day. They work hard, bless them. They're underpaid and they work hard. So you want to sort of make their lives as easy as possible. Right, we clear that. 27 left. We'll keep that in there if I can. There we go, clear. 390 is fine. That's the optimum. That's good. Performance, we don't need to worry about that. Cost index fine. Fuel. So lots of fuel on arrival. So good sort of 50 odd minutes, which is exactly what we need. Secondary's not there, so don't need to worry about that. Temperatures are looking good. Eco mode is all checked. Seat belts, I think it's relatively safe. I'm sure they finished their PAs, so that is done. Belts are off. Not quite the end of the SID yet, so I'll just leave it an open climb, just so we're not sort of faffing around with any constraints. And 390 we can do. Let's go to 39. Perfect. 390 is blue. 7.5 pitch angle is a good time to release. Yeah. I always after the 10,000. I mean, Chris, that's not a bad. If the sky's clearing 10,000 feet, that's. That's not a bad time to do it. That's nice and pragmatic. You're accelerating. The aircraft's pretty much sort of settled down now in its climb. Hello, mate. Oh, yeah, you want to play? I shall do something in a minute. Let's get to top of climb. Yeah, I will disappear for like 15 minutes at top of climb. Probably just have a bit of lunch and just play with the dog a little bit. It's not going to be a very long cruise, this, is it? So I won't be too far. I won't go too far away. But the cruise is pretty boring anyway. Nothing happens in the cruise generally, and there's no failures really sort of on this thing, so we don't have to worry about that. Where's my route? How do I get to my route? How do I get my route back on Navigraph? I don't know. Is it that one? No. Oh, just close the chart. That's easy, isn't it? There we go. Close that. Yeah, so I'll probably disappear for a little bit just to sort the dog out, just to make sure he's okay. Now, my records are getting to 39,000 feet out of Heathrow is about 16 minutes, 17 minutes on a pretty light aircraft, actually, pretty similar to this. So yeah, I wonder if we can beat that. So 16 minutes, sort of, basically unrestricted climb, exactly what we're doing, to 39,000 feet. We've got another 10 minutes to do that. So yeah, I think we could do this. We could almost beat my personal best to get to 39,000 feet. Yeah, 16, 17 minutes I think it took me. Right, that's all done. Paranoia, that's all good. How's the temperature in the back? 24, that will do. Gonna be freaking cold back in Oslo. Someday cabin crew will be robots and every passenger I would go to the toilet on the seat, so there's no reason anyone to turn aside. Yeah. Oh, can you imagine the stink? Yeah. That wouldn't be pleasant, would it? Right, we're past Brookman's Park now, so we're off the SID. Finish this, we can just go manage climbs, and yeah, that's 390. So it's going to be quite interesting actually, because I've loaded a load of fuel. It'd be interesting to see sort of how much extra. So we've had 3 tons on top of that. So yeah, it's going to be about 3 tons on top of all that sort of minimum fuel required for our waypoints. So this is a bit of an unrealistic test. I should test this using just sort of plug fuel, because that way I can actually see if the fly-by-wire or the 320 Neo profile is pretty correct. Speedbird. Trying to get a good image for the old the front page of the video. That might be quite nice. Yeah, I can't see much of the ground. I think Stansted is around here somewhere. Is that it? That might have been it. Yeah, Stansted's just off the left, which we probably can't see at all. Down here somewhere. No, I've got scenery for Stansted. Don't go there. It's a Ryanair base. Don't like them. Yeah, Stansted is down here somewhere in the murk. So yeah, pretty horrible. You ever wanted to fly for BA, Andy? Well, never say never. I mean, I wouldn't go there now. I'm too bloody old now. But I don't know. BA is a very different place to sort of where I am. Not in a good way, not in a bad way. It's a very different lifestyle, very sort of different sort of job. Potentially, even short haul's probably a bit different. But long haul, I never really sort of was against long haul. I think it would have been nice to have tried it, but things I'd only stuck doing long haul for 15, 20 years. That's what I don't want to be stuck doing. I quite like short haul, and I quite like sort of going home to my own bed every night. So yeah. Mrs. wouldn't really like me doing long haul either. She would get a bit annoyed. So I wonder if there's maybe a bit of high ground here, just part of Norfolk, or sort of Essex way, where it's actually a slightly elevated part. Where's Gavin about to stream? Gavin's about to stream. Awesome. Do it. Yeah. So this might just be poking its head above the sort of mist. So yeah, you can often sort of tell when there's a little bit of high ground around, because all the mist sort of sinks into the lower areas. You occasionally see a little bit of ground, which is it's probably a little bit higher up. So it's just sort of poking the head of the train up above any of the mist. So yeah, that might be a bit of an elevated bit Got a meeting. Okay, no worries, Chris. Yeah, you can have a watch back later. What's the current weather doing for Oslo? That's what I want to know. So interesting. We got good vis now. So all the 9s, but overcast at 300 feet. So still very much LVPs. You know, that's even though the vis is good. You know, LVPs would sort of be probably put in force with a cloud base of sort of 500 feet or below, which it is. So this would still be LVPs, and you'd come out the clouds about 100 feet above the minimums, and then you'd be visual, everything, and then you would just land, elevate. Yeah, give me 2 seconds, I will do something. So yeah, still sort of LVPs in Oslo, but the visibility is pretty nice. So going to be an interesting one today, where an Autoland's probably going to be applicable. Gavin wants to fly to Greek Island. Was there ever a Norwegian chef? I'm missing that reference, Willie. You'll have to explain that to me. So another sort of 5 or 6 minutes to beat my record. Might do it. I'm not going to intervene with the modes either, because that'd be cheating. This is pretty much exactly how we had it when I had my sort of 16-17 minute record. So yeah, just leave it as it is. Colour in those METARs, don't recall seeing the colours. It might be the new update potentially. Oh no, actually it's in the options. It is in the options, so yeah, obviously red's not particularly good. You know, the amber's sort of, not particular. I don't know what the triggers are. I don't know what would qualify as red and amber and blue or white. White's probably. But no, I think it is in the options. I'm sure I saw that recently. Not that one. Nope. Use calculated ILS. I've got no idea what that is. Oh, there's the wheel chunks and safety cones. Oh, there is. I knew that was there somewhere. Sync. I don't think I need to do any of that. No. Realism. I'm sure I saw a colour option in here. When I was looking at things, FlyPad. Ah, there we go. Yeah, show coloured raw meter. So yeah, if you turn that off, it's then not in any colour. But yeah, I obviously had this option on. So yeah, I don't know if this is a new thing. It might be a new thing with the new fly-by-wire updates. But yeah, there was an option there to do it, which is why I've got colours. Calculated ILS for the FLS. That's still not integrated. Oh, okay. I think that before reference Muppet Show. Oh, okay. I never really watched the Muppet Show, to be honest. Willie, I don't know. I was never a massive fan of like Jim Henson, that sort of stuff. I mean, a couple of things, but yeah, I didn't mind Beaker. I thought Beaker was quite funny. But yeah, I didn't really. Probably not quite my thing. I think I was more interested in He-Man and Thundercats and the rest of it, Transformers. That was sort of my childhood memories. Right, good, still nothing up there. Another 4,000 feet to go. I don't think we're going to do it. No, it was sort of 16-17 minutes was my record, and yeah, we're not quite there yet. Do we have any? Is there anybody around? Let's go. So we've got an EasyJet going to, what's that, Rovaniemi? So there's no controllers on at all. No, I did buy the Oslo scenery as well. I know this might be a contentious decision, but it was, very much, it was 25 of my very, very important English pounds. So yeah, I did spend a bit of money this morning, which I don't, I spent quite a lot actually on the sim this month. But yeah, £25 I spent this morning on this scenery, and I've read reviews that some people think the scenery's crap. And I know there's a freeware scenery as well. I know that people say the freeware is very, very good, but I don't know. But part of me, I know some freeware sceneries are very good, but I know some are a bit crap. I didn't really have time to download the free one, look at it, make a decision, and then get going. I really wouldn't have had time to do the stream if I'd done that. So I just thought, you know what, I'll just do it. HD and everyone be shopping. Hey J-Hog, how you doing? It's not really golf weather today, mate, is it? It's a little bit crap, although it's a little bit better out there now. To be honest, the mist isn't... It's still... You know, I could still hit a golf ball in this mist because I don't hit the golf ball very far, so it's not misty enough where I'd lose my golf balls in the mist. But yeah, still a little bit cold. I think the greens would probably be frozen. Have a rough idea of your age. Probably not far off my own. Possibly not, Liana. No, possibly not. My cousin had that huge He-Man castle. Wait a second. I don't think I've had the castle. I told you to use the freeware scenery. Where is that? I know, Christian, but the thing is, I looked at some of the screenshots and I was just like, well, the blue taxiways are not really blue, they're sort of more turquoisey colours. I don't know, I don't know, I was just a little bit sceptical. I'm sure it is very, very, very good. I'm sure if I downloaded it and compared the two, there probably would be very little in it. But why are you closed? Why are you open? I swear that didn't open on the ground. Captain HMV, hello. I do believe the freeware is the better one, so I just say it. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you know, we're all entitled to those opinions, and you know, a few other people have probably said something similar. But you know, to be honest, I'm not really that fussy. Oh, there we go, 500 to go. Yeah, we haven't beaten my record. A minute behind that. You know, I kind of think if it looks okay, then it's doing the job. Yeah, like I said, it's probably a very controversial decision to have done that. You know, it's probably quite contentious. There's going to be a lot of different people with different opinions. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what the difference is. But why are you back with the fly-by-wire? Not complaining. Why am I back with the fly-by-wire? Really? Why am I doing this? Mac out cruise. I think I just wanted to do like British Airways on the fly-by-wire, and the weather was pretty crap, so it looked like an Autoland. So I thought we'd give it a go with the fly-by-wire, because I know this should be able to do an Autoland. And the last time I did an Autoland in the Phoenix was in Milan, and the Autoland was shite. It didn't do it very well at all. So I thought I'd give this one a spin, you know, see what this one's like, and see if the fly-by-wire Autoland is any better. So yeah, it's got my impersonator again. Yeah, so if I just give it a go, you know, because you know it's an ILS, so there's no reason why the fly-by-wire can't do that. And yeah, just be something a little bit different. Sort of getting used to the fly-by-wire as well. So we've got 464 miles to go to stop and drop-ish. 10 past, so about an hour's time. That's okay. So I can probably have a bit of lunch. What have we even got for lunch? I think I've still got some soup. Yeah, should have got a roll out. Downloaded the EASA terrain fix. I've downloaded the EASA terrain fix. No, I haven't. If not, I would remove stock on. Oh, really? Is that the one that's got massive ditches? Autoland should be good. Good. Yeah, I think I've seen a few people do the Autoland, and it seems to behave pretty normally. So we'll look. I know the Phoenix as well. It seems to have this, you know, the Autoland light. Why aren't you working? You should come on. You should come on when I press you. Yeah, the Autoland light seems to come on spuriously on the Phoenix for ILS. You should disconnect and then it sort of pops up. And I saw something. I'm sure I saw something the other day on. Yeah, no, it's on the fly-by-wire, which I need to look at this again actually. Not that it make any difference because I've been doing an Autoland anyway. But the last time I flew the fly-by-wire, I noticed it on when I watched the stream back just to identify a couple of things, and I still had the FMA, so after I disconnected the autopilot, so I still had speed, which I should do because the auto thrust was in. I think I did do a manual land. Did I do a manual? I did do a manual land in Munich, but that would say speed if the auto thrust was in, so that's fine. But when I disconnected the autopilot, I still had glide slope and lock on the FMA, which I shouldn't have because I've disconnected the autopilot. So when the autopilot disconnects like that, the FMA should go, because these aren't now controlling anything because the autopilot's off. So this should go blank when the autopilot disconnects, but it doesn't. Maybe one. So yeah, this is. I'm not too sure what this is kind of really representing, because they shouldn't be there when you disconnect the autopilot. So yeah, a little bit of a discrepancy there with the fly-by-wire, but you know, we know that they exist. We know there's a few little discrepancies here and there, and it's fine. We can all work with it. Just you notice the odd thing, and you go, that's not quite right. Oh, I'm doing that, pressing the button. Right, I'm going to leave it like that for a minute. I'm just going to sort out some lunch, get me dinner out of the freezer as well. Probably play the dog for maybe 15 minutes, and then I'll be back. We've got about an hour until we go down, so that gives us a good little bit of time just to sort of have a quick chat as well. So, yeah, just enjoy the view of the North Sea, which is not really much there, but I will be back very, very shortly. So, yeah, just enjoy the view for the minutes, and yeah, talk about yourselves. Cheers. let's play the dog for 10-15 minutes. Let's time out a little bit. So I'm just going to eat my lunch, so I will be off the microphone for a little bit, but we're doing well. I haven't done a fuel check or anything. I've been useless, absolutely useless pilot monitoring. So just have a quick look at this. I haven't really done anything like weathers. So where were we? In Bob took about 49 minutes to get there. Where is it? In Bob? Where are you? Somewhere down here. I'll get in Bob. There we go, boundary. So yeah, 48 minutes, 49. Yeah, that's pretty good. And we had about 3 extra tons on top of this. What's that? It's going to be about, what's that? 3, 4, 5, 7, plus maybe a little bit extra contingency. So maybe about 6 tons-ish expecting. So yeah, not too bad actually. 5.8. That's reasonably consistent with the sort of fuel planning. So yeah, about 5.8 is more or less good. So I think this fly-by-wire profile in SimBrief is actually probably not too bad. It's probably really reasonably accurate. Obviously carrying a little bit more as well in terms of the fuel burn. So that's going to increase the fuel burn ever so slightly. So yeah, that's probably pretty accurate. So I'm pretty impressed with that. That's not so bad. Hey Gators, how you doing? So far we go down, it's about 10 past, 2 o'clock on the hour, so we've got about half an hour-ish. So yeah, I'm going to eat lunch relatively quickly, and then we can have a crack on and have a bit of a brief here for the arrival into Oslo. I'll sort that out in a minute. Yeah, so just give me a minute just to eat my lunch, and then I'll be back very shortly. Right, thanks guys. I am back, just eating my lunch. Good, that's my, and you going back to the flight deck. There we go, thank you very much. So let's have a look at this then. I've just had a quick look at the weather, latest weather for Oslo, which should say on the AFB as well. So it's not actually too bad now. So I've got 200 at 5. Let's just write this down just for reference. 200 at 5. So that's well within Autoland limits. There's no worries about that. It's good viz, all the 9s, and scattered at 300 now, broken at 700. 3 degrees. Excuse me, 1014. So this isn't actually too bad. This is now Cat 1. So you know, technically, you know, we don't really need to do a Autoland on this. You know, in fact, we probably do Cat 1 approach. And LVPs probably wouldn't be in force with this sort of weather, so it's not actually that bad. But there is a forecast between 1 o'clock this afternoon, which is you know, pretty much, you know, we're landing after 1. So what are we? We're past 1 now, aren't we? So yeah, there is a forecast between 1 and 7. 1 o'clock today and 1 o'clock tomorrow of 3,000 meters and vertical visibility of 100 feet. So there is a forecast that it could get foggy. So even though it's fine now with this bullseye potential, it could be foggy. So we're still planning for the Autoland, just because it'd be interesting to do it. We're probably going to be visual quite early on anyway, so it won't be a major issue. But let's just give it a go, just in case the weather decreases a little bit. One thing I did want to look at was a snow town. Let's just see if I can find a snow town. Snow town, Oslo, ENGM. This is kind of what I need. Is that in it? So yeah, it'd be nice if SimBrief starts pulling this sort of data from places. There's the NOTAMs. So in terms of NOTAMs, something there about de-icing, that's fine. RMP climb gradients with 2 engines, so climb gradient should be fine. Errors. Errors on the charts. 0-1 left, that's going to affect us. So yeah, there doesn't seem to be a snow town at the minute, which would make sense because it's not snowing. So you know, it's not raining, it's not snowing. So you know, it's probably no snow town published because, you know, technically it's not there. Interestingly, snow town. If there's one for Stockholm, though we're not going to go there because Christian says we're not going to go there because yeah, apparently the terrain's all a bit daft. Do we have anything there? Stockholm, can't see anything. COVID. To be fair, I can't even see a snow town for Stockholm either. So yeah, it looks like there's no real snow that's going to affect us. No contaminated runways, which is great. There's loads of snow. I'm not going to read all of that. No, perfect. So I don't think there's any snow towns for either, which is good. What was we going to do? So yeah, in terms of the approach, we're going to do this Ripam. What's it called? Where's the name of it? Ripam something for Ripam 4 Mike, I think it is. There we go. So yeah, Ripam 4 Mike. 19 right arrival. It's a sort of merge point, so really what I'll probably do, I won't do this whole arrival because it's probably unnecessary. So I think what we'll do is from maybe Golf Mike 427, that's 9,000, or flight level 90 there, we make a right hand turn up to Bavad, so just cut this bit out, we don't really need to do this. Speed constraints, and that's only 4,000 feet there really to lose between flight level 90 and 5,000, so that's fine. MSA 3,900 feet, 5,000 be nice and safe. You know, that's sort of correct for any temperature deviation as well. So 5,000 for the MSA and 25 miles, which I will put that in actually, which I think is probably based off the airport, is it? MSA GRM VOR, that's it, we can do that. Yeah, GRM, which is on the airfield. So yeah, let's put a range ring in for that one. GRM. $25 miles. So there's going to be our range ring for the MSAs, because because we're not really going to be visual. It's probably going to be IMC for a fair bit of it, so just in case we're not visual, we can do that, and then we know 4,000 or 5,000 is safe once we get within that range ring. So yeah, I might amend this approach. So what did I say? 427 was it? Yeah, 427 to Babad, that's what we'll do. So we've got RNAV 1, that's fine, we're quite capable, we've got RNAV for GPS, 427 Babad. Yeah. Right, that's in, so that should look reasonably good. Let's just get you up. Yep. Yeah, come on. I don't know why it doesn't sequence this. It should be sequencing. You know, it should just be getting rid of all these waypoints on that arc. I don't know why it's not doing that. You've obviously got to delete them in the fly-by-wire, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. So clear you. So yeah, a little bit of amendment there. 2 Babads, don't we want 2 Babads? That's better. -65, of course, cold, isn't it? So that's tidied that up a little bit. Let me go on to the ILS. So yeah, we're going to do an auto land on this one. So minimums, the aircraft's all capable. It's all landing capability is all fine. We go Babad 5,000 feet there, then 4,000 to Adudi. And the platform is 3,500 feet. There's a lot of terrain around here. ATC are usually, if ATC are online, they sort of vect you. They cut you in close, get you down close to this hill as well. So they're usually pretty, you know, pretty sort of cavalier, I suppose. They're vectoring sometimes in Oslo, but so we'll just stick to this because I don't think there's any ATC online. So yeah, Cat 203, 19 at right. Transition altitude is 4,670 odd feet for the elevation, and we'll look at the minimums here. So we'll do Cat 3B because we can do that 75 metres RVR. We'll have that with approach climb gradient 3.2%. We could do that 2 engines, no problem. So we just put no DH in the performance because it's an auto land. So no DH, no will probably suffice anyway. QNH is 1014. Temperature is 3 degrees, so it's not actually freezing, which is you know, it's one nice thing. So there's no temperature corrections for that one. So 2004. Flat fall landing, we can do an auto landing flat 3, but flat fall's probably fine, and we'll just go slow auto brake as well. Missed approach if we need to do it. It's climb runway track 192. Right turn and then climb to 5,000. So 5,000 is the missed approach altitude, and that's pretty straightforward. In terms of taxiing, once we're on the runway, we'll come off probably Alpha 5, maybe Alpha 4, depends how quickly you slow down. And then the sort of non-Schengen stands are up here on this sort of pier. So yeah, most likely we'll come off and then it'll either be this one or this one up. What's that? It's Mike or November. All the way up to Victor, across Victor, Romeo, down, most likely Sierra, maybe Tango, one of these, and then we go in to so probably the orange line. I think it's blue, green and orange, so the orange line, and then we'll sort of stand 49, something like that. May even be 50, I don't know if ATC is on it. It'd be so on one of these piers, one of these stands around here, so 49, 50, something like that. That would be the stand. And P-Soup approach into Oslo, a bit worrying. Okay, well it's nice to know, Andy, so yeah, if it's not been particularly good weather. Oh, and it's nice now, isn't it? You can see the sort of south coast of Norway now, and it's actually looking pretty good. So I'm sure the clouds are going to start forming on the horizon. Not much out to the right. Stuff off to the left. I think Stavanger's off to the left somewhere, which interestingly enough didn't seem to be on ENZV. I think that's Stavanger up there, so yeah, probably off to the left somewhere. Yeah, that's probably up there. So that's the taxi. In terms of LVPs, in terms of Autoland, what we're going to do, so we know the aircraft's all capable. Let's have a quick look at the QRH, because that's a pretty good aid memoir for various things for the Autoland stuff. So ops data, required equipment. In fact, let's look at the procedures, I think. Low visibility ops. So low visibility ops. In terms of the management of failures, if we get if we're not visual at all, we could potentially go around, but we got no decision rights, so we don't actually need to see anything, so that's not really applicable. But if we get any failures above 1,000 feet, we just go around, sort the aircraft out, and then look at the landing capability, and then potentially make another approach below 1,000 feet. Any sort of triple click, any failure that's going to affect the landing capability, we go around from that as well. Any red Autoland light below 200 feet, and that one there is an immediate go around. Unless we're visual, there's always the caveat, if we are visual, we think we can land visually, manually, then we can probably elect to do that if we think that's safe to do so. Any non-monitored systems that fail below 1,000 feet, so the ISIS, window heat, things like that, that we don't actually know, potentially wouldn't know that's failed, we've probably noticed that, we can basically continue. All the RVRs need to be legal before 1,000 feet, which is the approach ban. So we need 75 metres, which we've got at the minute, so that's not a problem. Hello mate, you're right. So yeah, if we look at our minimums, so 75 metres is pretty bloody low, so we need this to be above 75 metres before 1,000 feet for the approach to be, commenced. And if it dropped below 75 metres, if it dropped to 50 metres, which is really, really low below 1,000 feet, we can basically continue. So we've done that. We've got sort of standard calls, so 350 feet we should get the land FMA, and then we should get, because there's no decision height set, we should just get 100 above auto call out, and as I said, because there's no decision height, there's no real decision really, because we don't actually need to see any visual references. If we get downgrades, then potentially we might need some. We get the flare by 40 feet, so we announce that flare, then we'll get an idle call at some point, then we'll retard the thrust to idle. Don't forget the idle call is more of a sort of instruction rather than a reminder, so that should come by about 10 feet, and then we get rollout as well, and then we just roll down the runway. Next thing, don't forget to turn off the autopilot as well, just so we can actually vacate. There are things which, like, we'd normally tell passengers turn off personal electronic devices, that would be necessary from Autoland. And what's the next bits we need to look at? There's me. Ops data, required equipment. So required equipment for the Cat 3 and 2 approaches, all of these. So we've basically got everything, we haven't got any failures, so we've got all the required equipment at the minute. Non-monitored systems, basically the autopilot push button. Autoland light, you know, that may fail, but we don't know about it. It's non-monitored, it's relevant travel limiter systems. So all of these, you know, potentially they could fail below 1,000 feet, and so we can still continue. What else is there to say? I think that's done. We're secure, normal sort of time. Yeah, low order brake, idle reverse, flat 4 would be fine for the landing. And yeah, I won't do single engine because the conditions. And to be fair, it might be dry, so single engine might be okay. It's probably not slippery. There's no snow, so yeah, I could potentially consider single engine as well. There's no ATC, so yeah, 90 down to 5,000. Fairly sure that's in. And that's basically it. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Just let the aircraft do its thing. Get the LSPBs on there. So yeah, 90. Bavad's about 5,000, that's fine. 4,000 at Adudi. And in terms of the configuration, we just sort of configure as necessary. So probably flap 1, 220 knots, 200 knots, yeah, 200 knots probably by flap 1 by Bavad, and then just sort of trying to do a CDA as best we can, flap 2 somewhere on the glide, and then gear down by about 5 miles and flap 3 and flap 4 after that. To say, what's that? Yeah, minimum 160 knots to 4 miles, which is fine, that's sort of normal. And yeah, I think that's covered everything. I don't think there's much else to say. So discuss whether we know the aircraft's fine. We've got soft go around if we need to do it. NOTAMs, there's nothing really to affect us NOTAM wise. Just have a quick reminder ourselves on what that is. So yeah, NOTAMs, that looks okay. RMP approaches, makes minimum glide gradients, that's fine, we can do that. Errors on the charts. RMP Zulu 19 left, we're doing 19 right, so that's okay. And increase minimums for RMP, which we're not doing. So yeah, that's good. Threats we've kind of discussed. Terrain's probably the worst one, and the fact it's an Autoland. So the wind's just changed a little. It's 150 at 4 now. At 4. Temperature still 3 degrees. 1013, so the QNH is going down. That's decreasing, but that's okay. A few clouds at 300 feet and scattered clouds at 700 feet. So yeah, I don't really anticipate any problems getting in here. Do you have an approximate time in the flight where you normally do the approach? Yeah, Martin. So it's usually about 80 miles before top of drop. So you know, we're obviously there now. So I've kind of done it. So the latest really you want to have it, you know, start it, I suppose, is I never actually put this to standard. Yeah, is 80 miles before we start going down. Don't forget these aircraft, they do about 80 miles in 10 minutes. So you know that gives you. Oh, you're done. Sort that out, sorry. Yeah, you want about 10 minutes really to brief, and you know it depends how long the brief is going to take. You know how much needs to be discussed. You know, sort of how thorough you want to be. Right, let's start going down. So Mach descents 90 blue. But yeah, you know, approximately sort of 80 miles before you start going down. You know, the newer guys, you know, less experienced guys might need to do it a little bit earlier. You know, you go somewhere like you go back to your home base, you know, which you know really well. You know, it can usually take 2 minutes to brief because you know there isn't actually that much to brief at all. Interesting fact, I don't know, we might have passed already. Interesting fact, I don't know if it is an interesting. It's quite a morbid fact actually. I think it's down. It might be down here. Yeah, it might be this town here. Yeah, very sad. Sort of, you know, people remember the story. If people remembers the massacre in Oslo, there's this right-wing Nazi fruitcake. You know, went on this island up near Oslo, which you know probably would fly over actually if we could see it. You know, and shot and killed 50 odd kids or something. You know, pretty horrific. You know, not very nice. But he's actually in prison along here somewhere. I'm not too sure if it's this town. It might be a bit further back. But yeah, I do remember flying into Oslo a few times, and you know, you'd fly over the top of the prison, and this guy's been incarcerated there for the rest of his life. And yeah, it's somewhere down here, I think. But yeah, obviously very tragic, you know, very tragic event for Norway as well. But yeah, he's actually incarcerated in a prison on the south coast of Norway. Somewhere, I want to say, is it down here? It might be down here. It's somewhere. There's a town along the south coast somewhere. It might even be a bit further back. But yeah, there's a town down here somewhere, which is obviously Norway's. It's not really a town, is it? Yeah, it's Norway's sort of maximum security prison, and he's incarcerated there. You know, don't know why they just didn't really get rid of him, but there we go. So that's Mac. I don't know why it's gone to Mac. What's my opinion of the fly-by-wire as a real pilot? I think it's very good. Yeah, no, I I do think they have done a really, really good job, and I know I've had a couple of words to say with a couple of fly-by-wire people, and got a little bit argumentative over things in the past, over various things they were answering. But no, I think system-wise it seems to be pretty well behaved. The FMGC, I think, generally works pretty well. There's a few little anomalies, like when you tidy up the flight plan and sort of cut out some things, it should just cut out the rest of the waypoints, which it's not doing at the minute, which it should do. So yeah, a few little things there, but I mean that's it's not a major issue. This is all working pretty well. Let's get you in. NGM. 90 right. Oh, prick. Thank you. This is all looking pretty good. In descent, normally you've got this is in blue. I mean, we're going down now, so it's sort of arms and captured. But yeah, you can change the descent speeds. You can actually change the max speed and the the indicated airspeed as well. So that's not quite implemented, I don't think. I think the alternates are no. So the enable alternate, that isn't in either. So obviously our alternate would be Stockholm in this case, or maybe not, because apparently the terrain, the ground file is a bit useless. But they haven't got that implemented yet, where you could just enable alternate. But they have got new destinations, so instead of pressing that, you could just put Stockholm in there and just activate that. So that's not really a major issue. It's a workaround. Fuel, I think, is pretty good. I think the fuel planning and the fuel burn seems pretty consistent. Maybe a little bit low on heavyweights. I think they're about 900 kilograms an hour. Heavyweights, you're looking at sort of 11 to 1200 kilograms an hour when you are pretty heavy. FMS2 is not that far away, so hopefully... cool, okay, yeah, version 2's... Version 2. One of the improvements they got, because you've got like a latch symbol, and it doesn't quite do the magenta speed range all the time. So FMS2 is quite a good update. It's already got ground temperature, which is kind of like an FMS update. That's what I didn't check. I think it's... yeah, so the last day of the AIRAC as well, so there's probably a new AIRAC out today, which I did actually forget to check, but this is still valid. Secondary, and of course, there's no secondary at the minute, so that they're missing this, which again, it's not a major issue. You can still deal with it. It depends on what the emergency procedure is. But yeah, that's obviously quite a big omission. A few other sort of things which I've noticed, which again aren't major issues. I know this is an Azobo thing, but the fuel pumps on A320 Neo, it hasn't said anything, but they're jet pumps, so that the fuel goes through a jet pump straight into the wing tanks. It doesn't go through a fuel gallery through there and then into the engines. It just goes straight into the wing tanks, and then the wing tank pumps suck the fuel up. So if you've got a lot of fuel in the centre tank, that goes into the wing tanks basically, and then gets sort of sucked up, and that's annotated correctly. Well, it's not here, but the green lines sort of go that way on the diagram on the overhead panel. So but this is an Azobo thing, I think, because the Azobo default fly-by-wire has got this. So I mean, that's slightly wrong, but again, not really a major issue. That's just minor things that I've noticed. And the logo lights, you do get two nav and logo light positions, 1 and 2, and this is only on and off. But it's minor, minor sort of things I've noticed, which aren't, it doesn't detract away from the quality of the product at all. They're just sort of minor things that I've noticed, I suppose. But on the whole, I'm generally pretty happy with it. What I do really like about the fly-by-wire, actually, to give them their credit, and to sort of really be positive about it, is I like the fact they've got pretty much normal passenger configuration layouts. I think it's 176, is it 172? I can't quite remember. But normally, sort of low-cost airlines, etc., they'd have like 180, 86 seats. BA might have a bit less or something, but they have sort of simulated quite a high capacity passenger loadout, which if you're doing sort of EasyJet flights, etc., you'd get a bit more sort of realistic passenger loads. Where the Phoenix, I do really like the Phoenix, but the problem with the Phoenix is it's only got 162 passengers maximum, I think, which is a bit low. It would be nice if Phoenix could adapt that, or give you an option to sort of configure your passenger loads. Well, the weather's actually looking fine, isn't it? There we go. So Oslo's over here, so yeah, I don't think there's going to be any problems getting in. But there we go. We occasionally do practice autolands as well, so we can just do a practice autoland. Again, there's no problems about doing that. No ATC online, unfortunately. Should actually do a Unicom call, shouldn't I? Yeah. Also traffic, speedbird 71, Papa India's descending flight level 90. We are on the Ripam 4 Mike, arrival for runway 19 right, and we will be doing a practice Autoland. Secondary, what's that? So, second flight plan, go on track, distinct MAC2 sort of thing. Yeah, that would be quite, nice. If there's independent MAC2s, it would be nice, but it's not really essential. Secondary is in, go around is in, separate MAC2 were tested a while ago. Waiting for independent flight 1 and computed inputs. Yeah. Okay, so they're working on it, obviously. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, they're a very what's the word? Yeah, a very capable bunch. I suppose is the word. They put a lot of time and effort into this. For a free mod. You've got to give them their credit for that respect. They've done really, really well. Yeah, I want to say that tragedy was down here, maybe. Was that it? I can't quite remember. Yeah, that Norwegian tragedy that happened. It's one of these lakes. I do remember going over it a few times. Might even be up here. Might be that there. That might be it. Up there. In that case, killed everybody. It's all very, very somber. Very somber discussion point. So where is it? So it's off to the right somewhere. Can we see Oslo? Not quite yet. Somewhere over here. Somewhere. So yeah, fly-by-wire. I do. My thumbs up. Thumbs up to them. They are. It is a very good product. For something that's free. No real complaints my side. Not in terms of things that I don't like and think, why the hell does it do this? It's just very, very minor, trivial little things which would be nice if it's just maybe tidied up, I suppose is the word, which they seem to be doing. So patience is the key, isn't it, with things like this? Right, so there's our MSA circle. We know 5,000 is nice and safe. Once we're below this, we're going down to 90, which is still safe where we are. Weather is all good. Shall we strap them in? There we go, belts are on. So that's done, 5 tons, so we got loads of extra fuel. It's going to be nice weather anyway, so that bad weather that was forecast earlier this morning hasn't really turned up. It's not really appeared at all, so I'm sure it might do later. Let's have a quick look, let's quick updates on it. So still 150 at 4, that's the latest meter, which is in 1013, yep, that's done. And still 3 degrees, yeah. So you might see as we sort of make this sort of right-hand turn at Babbage, you might just get to see just how close we are to the terrain. There is a telephone mast, or there's a big mast on the approach, which you can get quite close to. ATC seems to love to vect you really close to it. As like I said, they're a little bit cavalier at times where they went, right, let's just see how close we can get you to things. So, so it's not indicated actually. It's definitely a high point there. I'm sure there was like there's a mast there. Yeah, I'm sure there was a mast somewhere around here. Maybe it's not there anymore. Oh, there it is. No, that's what I'm thinking of. So yeah, that's a high point, 2,000. But there's a mast here, right? And they try to sometimes vector you in, cut the corner. So they go, straight to Zinlo or somewhere like that. That's it. Zinlo's top of drop. 3,500. And they would sort of take you straight over the top. And of course, platform altitude is 3,500 feet. So you're clearing this by less than 1,000 feet if you're trying to get to 3,500. I mean, a little bit higher, but the clearance with that sort of mast is really quite tight. So I didn't quite like it sometimes. They just got a little bit I don't know what the word is, cavalier is the word, but they didn't quite appreciate the performance of the aircraft, I think, at times. Air traffic control here in Oslo, and you had to battle with them a little bit to say, well, I need to slow down, I need to start configuring, and I don't think they quite appreciated just how to fly the aircraft. That's probably a little bit derogatory. I'm sure they're a lot better than what I'm sort of making out, but they did make it hard work at times. Where is Oslo? It's around here somewhere. Can't see it at all. Sort of on our 2 o'clock. Somewhere over here. Yeah, can't really see it. Normally it'd be a bit easier to see, but it's somewhere over here. It's actually quite nice lighting conditions as well. Sort of landing, sort of most sunsetty, conditions. We got how many miles we got left to go? 56, and with 13,000 feet, 12,000. So we need, what's that? So 36 miles to go. So we're well below any profile. If we stick on this, it should be fine. And speed's all pretty good. So one thing you do appreciate as well when you're sort of around this part of the world is just how desolate it is. There's very few sort of settlements, villages. Do occasionally see the odd one, but it's very, very cold, very, very sort of isolated. If you go camping or in the woods, you could get lost really, really easily. And it's probably a fascinating place. If you're into that sort of thing, it's probably incredible. Just how sort of quiet and remote it is. And sort of how peaceful. All these sort of little lakes at the top of these hills. It's probably actually a fascinating place to go to, but yeah, equally very, very, very sort of desolate. Nobody around. There's not really many people to help you if things start going wrong. Right, it says Golf Mike 427. We've got somebody coming in, are they? So yet again, have I managed to time it with somebody that's coming in at exactly the same time as me? Multiple people at the same time as me. That's fantastic. Why do I always time it with somebody coming at the same time as me? Oslo traffic, speedboat 71 Papa India, approaching Golf Mike 427. Then we're going to make a right-hand turn to Bavads, and we're 250 knots. Just speed up a little bit. So I know we've got another aircraft around us coming in from the left. It looks like there's a bit of distance there, so this guy can probably get in ahead of us, that's fine. When is the anti-ice used on the 320? Not sure. Greek. Anytime this temperature is, anytime TAT is below 10, and this is higher than minus 40, so that is the anti-ice, or that is the icing range. At the minute we are in the icing range presently, but we're not in any visible moisture, so we're not in any cloud, so there's no need for any anti-ice because there's no water there to actually freeze. But we are actively in the temperature range, but we're not in visible moisture. So if we were in clouds, then yes, you'd use the anti-ice, but we're not, so we don't need to do it. Right, is anybody saying anything on... Right, again, nobody seems to be on Unicom. There's a KLM in front of us. I'm not sure which way he's come from. Where's he? I'm sure he hasn't come from Amsterdam. Oh, he has. Oh, he's doing like the whole procedure, I think, which is probably a bit unnecessary. And then we've got a... Who's that? Is that... Looks like we've got a... What's that? Norwegian Air behind us. Right, let's activate this. See, this is the sort of point, the whole point of these merge point procedures, is you would... you know, the person in front would just do what I've done, so they would just go there to there. The second person would go there to there, and the third person would go there to there, and the fourth person, you know, so they would all sort of be separated that way. And I've just basically nipped ahead because there is space. You know, he's what, 15 miles ahead, so that's fine. Planes ahead, Scandinavia, camper, awesome countries. Yeah, Andy. I mean, you know, it's that sort of place, isn't it? When it would be really, really good. Right, let's start going down before we forget. Alright, so the QNH. So QNH is cross-checked, it's 5,000 blue. We are a bit high now, we should be able to manage that. And approach checks. And where are we? Barrow F QNH 1013 is set, seatbelts are on, minimum is no decision X and Autoland, order brake is low, and EFBs are stowed and connected. So yeah, that's fine, we'll keep the separation, it's good, he's plenty of distance. Then we've got this Norwegian air somewhere behind us. Right, this is the terrain. So I thought, oh, that does work. There we go. So we can see the terrain now. So this is the hill up here that we're going to try and avoid. Alright, Golf Sierra Whiskey is identified. There's the KLM in front of us. Also traffic, speedbird 7, Papa India, approaching Bavads, we're slowing down to 220 knots.
Also traffic, Nordic 1349, also inbound Bavad reducing to 200 knots, Nordic 1349.
Alright, let's just help her out a little bit, because we decided to descend a little bit late. Oh, a bit laggy. So airport somewhere. I still can't see the airport. It's somewhere around here. Is it behind the pillar? Oh, there it is. There's the airport. Yeah, behind the pillar. So after Bavad, we can go down to 4,000. And after Adudi, we can go down to 3,500, which is the platform. Yeah, why bother with whole procedure if you're on your own? Yeah, but that's it. If there's no one around, then there's no point doing it. You know, just coincidentally, yet again, I seem to have arrived when somebody else has turned up. You know, just you know, if people use Unicom, then it doesn't matter. You know, we can separate ourselves. We can manage it. All right, it's 1,000 to go. Oh yeah, it's a bit laggy. Also traffic, speedbird 71, Papa India, descending 4,000 feet, Bavad Adudi for the Autoland on 19 right. Alright, manage speeds. 4,000 is blue. So Blythe glow slight, which is looking good. 15 miles, 5,000, that's pretty much spot on what we need. Let's go flap 1, speed jets, flap 1. Army all up. Live slope, block blue, cap 3, dual AP 1 and 2. So again, no need for an auto land at all in this condition. You know, Cat 1 weather. You know, we could land manually in this very, very easily. But just for the sake of testing this out, we can have a go at the auto land to see how well fly-by-wire performs. So speed, glide slope start, lock start. We said 5,000. I think was the missed approach. It rings a bell. Yeah. So 180 to 4, or 160 to 4. I think it was flap 2. Speed check flap 2. Also traffic, speedbird 71 Papa India is established on the RLS of 19 rights for 11 miles, 180 knots. Yeah, 164 here. Come on, thrust, sort yourself out. Oh, that's actually interesting. He's landed on 19 left. Yeah, I mean, I suppose we might have been offered that potentially. You know, it's a bit easier. Already has was alive. Yeah, so it would have been a little bit easier to get to the terminal, but I could have done that. I suppose. You know, ATC might have offered that to us as well. What a pretty view. 160. Oh, one thing I did want to do is, can I do it quickly? See if I can get a recording. Yes, looks like it's doing it. Right, see if I can get a recording or at least a replay on this. I'll try my best. It's definitely a bit laggy. And it's a quarry down here, I think, potentially.
Also traffic Nordic 1349 established ILS 19 right at 11 miles.
Right, let's get down.
2000.
I'm not even too sure what runway they're using in real life. I mean, they might actually be using 19 left. I'm not too sure. I should have checked that, really, should I suppose. Right, flat 3, speed check, flat 3. Let's get done. Manage speed. Flat 4, speed check, flat 4, landing checklist. Cabin is secure for landing. Going altitude 5,000 feet, steady, come on, miss landing, no blues. So just monitoring now, that's all we got to do. So we get land coming up very shortly. About 350 feet. When landing and thinking about the ground, go around, is there a height at which you're definitely putting the plane on the ground a bit like? Sort of, Mike. I mean, it is, but it's not so much a height, it's the reverses. So
1,000.
There you go, 1,000. So once the reverses are out on a landing, so if you land and then put the reverses out, you're basically committed to landing. At any point prior to that, you can do a go around or a bolt landing. I mean, when you get really close, it's effectively a bolt landing. But yeah, it's the reverses. So the reverses can't, be deployed. Once they are deployed, or used, that's it. You're effectively committed to land. So yeah, it's not. You can go around at any height. You can go around at a foot if you wanted to as a bolt landing, really. Which captains, we'd fly that. Irrespective of sort of who's flying.
$500.
So 500 stable. So get the land on the FMA very quickly. There we go, land. So obviously visuals, so anything goes wrong, happy to disconnect and land manually. So 3 reds, but that's okay. Glass looks looking good. Try and remember not to shut the engines down so we can do the replay. So get 100 above.
$100.
Let's continue.
50.
Flare.
30. 20. 10. Retard.
So rollouts. First green. Spoiler, should I say? Spoilers, reverse green decel. And we're a little bit wobbly, so disconnecting the autopilots. Manual brakes. Yeah, we could probably vacate here. I'm not sure where here is, but on the left it looks good. obviously conscious of the guy behind me. Actually, might be quite good. Might be able to go straight. Is this? I'll have to have a look on Navigraph. Alpha Golf, Victor straight ahead. I think. Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Also, traffic speedbird 7 Papa India is vacated 19 right. So we're going to go to the eastern stands via Victor. All right, that's good. That's good. That's done. So it's all clear both ways. Oh, laggy. Oh, come on, really laggy. Maybe the scenery. Oh, going off the taxiway as well. Need a pilot monitoring. Need an FO. Ignore that bit. Come on. Ugh. Bloody click spots are as bad as the Phoenix. Alright, that's done, that's done, that's done. That's done. Right, so what do we want? Stand 49 potentially. I won't get GSX up just yet, just in case, maybe 51, just in case somebody's on that stand. So we go down here, then first right down Sierra. I think I've done everything. Yeah, that's done. Paranoia check, always thinking there's something I haven't done. Put you on. Could have started that really for the 3 minutes. So is that that looks like, is that a texture thing, or is that, I can't quite tell. So right down here. Do I need the anti-ice on? Probably. Ah, see, yeah, it says anti-ice. It's fairly sure. Yeah, it shouldn't be saying that. It shouldn't be saying NAI because that implies the anti-ice is on. So yeah, it's a bit confusing. I don't think that's a texture thing. That's just the terminal. I think it just looks a bit funny. No worries, Mike. Yep. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching. Are the Neos always on fast and idle? Yeah, they are, Andy. Especially lightweights. Yeah, lightweights they are really. They get away from you really easily. Heavyweights aren't so bad. You know, a bit more normal. But yeah, a lightweight 320 Neo. Flaps away. Hello. Yeah, they can really just accelerate. Especially when you've got anti-ice on as well. So you've got to be really, really careful. You can watch the brake temperatures because they can get quite high if you've got long taxis. So I don't think this scenery looks too bad. You know, I know people say the 3-1 is better. May well be, but you know, it looks pretty good to me. I'm happy. You know, I'm satisfied with it. Put it that way. Right, so going on the orange line. So that's what I mean. The blue line is very blue. I think on the photos that I've seen of the don't stop, of the freeware, that the blue's sort of more of a turquoisey green or something. It just looks the wrong colour, which I know is a stupid reason not to actually, you know, have it, but you know, there we go. It's just sort of my opinions, I suppose. Right, let's see if we can go 51. Is that 50? Oh, that's 51's the big one. Let's see if we can go 49. I'm trying to remember where BA Park. This is the sort of non-Schengen bit anyway. Right, gates 49. does that say? Oh, it just says small. Doesn't mean it's too small. No. Aviator. It's actually a funny angle as well. Okay. Oh yeah, so it is. Right, well that's good. Looks like some guidance. Taxi light is off. Cumulative pressure is good. It's in the green. I won't worry about single engine now. Right, clear on the right, clear on the left. Try and get on the centre line, get pleb. That was a marshaller. Okay. Perfect, that will do. Parking brake is on, brake pressure's holding. We're at the time, about the 3 minutes, so engine 1 can come off, engine 2 can come off. That's all good, that's good. Belts, yeah, bugger off. We can go. What are you doing? You parked a bit too far and askew. Bugger off. Done. Beacon. 10%, that's fine, that's done. You're off. 2000, so yeah, sadly don't have time to do the return, but there we go. So yeah, they're all 3. So yeah, these haven't drifted at all. The Phoenix sort of simulates the drift a bit more on these, but fly-by-wire doesn't, but that's fine. Well, that's off. But you can go on. Shut this all down. Oh, I've shut the engines down, haven't I? Pellock. I wonder if I can do that. Oh. Can I restart them? Oh, never mind. Right. So it don't matter. Nobody wants to see a replay.
Oslo apron,
in the habit of shutting engines down.
Alpha Mike, gate
maybe a little bit far. Yeah, maybe half a foot.
Pushback facing this.
The boarding requested.
I thought there would have been a stand guidance. Maybe it's one a bit further down. I don't know. I need to turn this off. Really, this stairs at the back. You know, I suppose they do chuck the rubbish off sometimes. They do use the rear step sometimes just to chuck the rubbish off the back. But no, I think that's I think it's not too bad. Let's do the parking checks. Sun's reflection is really impressive. Yeah, it is nice. It's, you know, it's very immersive. Right, parking checklist is radar weather and predicted wind shear. That's all off. Parking brake is on. Engines are off. Exterior lights. Yeah, they can
Passengers,
go.
The boarding starting.
Fuel pumps, they're all off. The electric pumps off, and PDs are off as required. So let's have a very quick look. Let's see if we can. I don't know why you're still there. Like, bugger off, you've done your job. Go away. So yeah, looks like I've got passengers coming off. So yeah, obviously a GSX profile as well, which is always helpful. They should be going. I might have to change, potentially have to change that. No. Oh yeah, it's all gone a bit skew-if, isn't it? Let's have a quick look. I should get rid of that soon. Just disconnect from you. Yeah, I think the jetty's a bit. It's a bit of an odd jetty actually. sort of. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. It's. I might have to. I'm not so sure I could fix that. I'll have to fix it somehow. But maybe in the GSX profile somewhere. So yeah, surprised there wasn't any gates guidance. You know, it says gate 49. Were there any other stands with guidance? They've got guidance, but they're all just... okay, so there's no... They haven't done a GSX profile and updated the guidance. This would normally have like a... You know, a docking guidance type thing. And now, yeah, there's another gate which is all a bit funny. Hello, buddy. Yeah, we'll be sorted in a minute. But I don't know. I think this scenery is not too bad. I mean, yeah, maybe the free one's a bit better, potentially. But you know, I like the colours. You know, they're very clear. You know, they're very blue. They are very blue in real life. So, you know, the markings are particularly good. You know, a nice little bit of sort of detail with the sort of tunnel where the vehicles go. These are, I think, the Qataris and the rest of them. They park here. You know, the heavies they park at the end here. And this is sort of like I said, this is a sort of non-Schengen part. There's not really much of a terminal. Okay, sadly, not much of an interior. But you know, I know there's an interior in the real life, the freeware one. You know, so this is missing that. But you know, I mean, these are small details, aren't they? Really. You know, how often do you really, as a flight simmer, sort of go wandering around the terminals? You know, I certainly don't. It's probably nice to have those little effects and to see those things, but it's probably not essential. I'm certainly not going to mark it down for that. Yeah, terminal. I'm sure somebody said the terminal, the tower's a bit bigger in real life. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've been there. But you know, apart from that, I think it looks reasonably good. You know, that looks very familiar. You know, I remember coming in there a few times. That's familiar. There was there's the walkway. We used to walk around here to go to the airport hotel, which was down here. Whatever it was, parking, something like that. I remember seeing this during the winter. This was just covered in snow. There was like 10 feet of snow on the top of the car park. So yeah, it was quite interesting. Oh, got some pink textures again. I don't know why. You know, why do we see pink textures? I'm not too sure. There must be a conflict somewhere with something. But you know, I think this is okay. I think the scenery is pretty good, personally. You know, it would do the job. Yeah, maybe, you know, I have to pay for it. The freeware one is probably equally as good. You know, some people say it's better. Orbex is making. Oh, is it? Okay. Well, I've got some now. I'll probably stick with this. I'm not spending any more money. Not on scenery again. Yeah, this is certainly, you know, seems good enough for what I need to use it for. You know, this is pretty accurate. There was some sort of drainage, what do they call them, sort of drainage water sort of reservoirs. That was the end. The de-icing bays, they were up here. Well, if Orbex want to give me a free copy when they do it, you know, to review, I'm more than happy to, but I probably won't pay for it. Yeah, these are the de-icing bays. Used to come in here and then sort of get a big squirt of Type 1 or whatever it was. Go on a de-icing bay. There'd be lots of sort of de-icing trucks all ready to do it. That's an engine run-up bay, which always looked quite funny. Just, you know, massive sort of concrete sort of bunker type thing where aircraft would go. And then I think there was like military stuff up here. Vaguely remember military stuff. Yeah, I want to say there was. I'm not too sure where it was. This was always a bit of a. Was this it over here? This might be it over here. Yeah, this was it, I think. I don't remember exactly what this was, but I want to say this was a. This was like a World War II memorial, I believe. Yeah, I think that was like a World War II memorial. There was something down here, you know. Again, I don't really know what it was, you know, immortalising, but yeah, there was definitely some sort of memorial up there. But I think this is okay. I think it's detailed enough. It looks good enough. Yeah, there's maybe a few things that you know are not there compared to maybe a freeware version and maybe an Orbex version. If they're going to do that, maybe a little bit better as well. But you know, I think for the purposes of what I sort of do and stream, this all seems good to me. So yeah, so I say no real major complaints at all. Not the cheapest of scenery out there, but there we go. Scenery never really is cheap, is it? Good. Right, well, I hope everybody enjoyed that. It's relatively straightforward. The Autoland seemed to work pretty well. That was nice to see. No idea what the landing rate was, but it all looked pretty sensible, pretty normal. You know, certainly within limits that I would expect. And yeah, did a pretty good job. Obviously, we didn't really need to do an Autoland in that sort of weather because it was all cav, but good to just test the fly-by-wire out and just sort of see how well we were in the Autoland. So good. Thanks very much, guys. That's going to be it. That's been done now for a few more days to sort of go back to work. I'll faff around, do stuff at work, but yeah, I might be back on. Probably won't be on the weekends. We'll be back on next week, I should imagine, at some point. I think I'm sort of going into a period where I am getting quite busy now, so I will try and get on when I can, but it probably won't be quite as frequent as what it normally is. But there we go, guys. Thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of the day. You know, happy flying, have safe flying, etc. And as usual, any questions, just obviously put them down in the comment section below, and I will try and answer whatever I can, whenever I can as well. So cheerio. See you later, guys.